All right. And we are live. The last word. Lord Cognito Ebontis, fresh on that Thursday campfire, back in the mix of Revenant. How are we doing, E? How's it going, man?
Doing pretty good. Played some
Mhm.
Destiny, played some
Yeah.
Diablo, played mostly those two for the past week or so.
Ah,
Little bit of both in between. Played some Starfield, but we talked about that last week.
nice, nice.
I'll be curious to see how far you are, just as a quick
Oh
kind of
yeah,
touch on that one.
I beat it. You need to listen to Defining Duke.
I'm
It's
like,
out now.
is it out now? And I was like, all
Yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah, it's out
that'll
now.
be like when I go take the
Yeah,
dogs for a walk. I'll just zoom ahead and
yeah,
be like, what are you playing? I'm like, this is what I'm looking for.
yeah. You especially need to listen to it.
Well, kind of get your initial thoughts. I'll be curious because I know where
Yeah,
Maddie was and he was closer to where I was.
yeah,
So yeah, we'll
yeah,
see.
yeah. Mhm.
Um, but yeah, Destiny Diablo launching almost the same time. I was waiting for
Mhm.
Diablo to launch Monday afternoon,
Mhm.
and I was stuck at home because I wasn't feeling that great. So I was like, oh, well, silver lining for feeling like junk for 3 days. I might actually
Yeah.
get to play. And no, instead of
What?
launching at like 6 p.m., they delayed the launch to have a synchronous launch for everybody. And it ended up launching at like maybe 11. I went to bed.
Mhm.
I was like, I can't
Gotcha.
start at 11 and then do Destiny the next day. So I got up, played for a little bit
Mhm.
before Destiny went live, then played Destiny. We'll talk about that.
Mhm. We'll talk about that.
And kind of bouncing back and forth between the two. And then
Mhm.
next week, just a heads up to everybody. Um, it's looking like I'm going to be out of town. We'll know for sure soon, but probably going to be out of town for that one. So that will be kind of the dungeon review and thoughts of that
Yeah.
pushed a little bit, and then that'll kind of give everybody a chance to catch up on it. But I'll likely be out, and since I'm hosting, I don't imagine these two are going to probably do the dungeon discussion without me, so that might be a little weird.
Yeah, we will definitely need you for
They'll
that.
be like, pass, big pass.
Mhm.
So that's what I've been doing outside of, yeah, it's
Nice.
like finally feeling better. But yeah, this
Mhm.
past weekend I was just felt like crap, and it's never fun just to feel junky. So
Yeah,
it's
it's the
kind of
worst. It's the
good to be
worst.
back. I do want to reach out and say, anybody who is in the path of the hurricane, we hope you are okay.
Yes.
Truly, I've
Yes.
seen some pictures of like 5 feet of sand in somebody's living room. I honestly
Wow.
cannot picture some of that stuff.
Wow.
I think it did weaken pretty quick once it actually got to Florida because it was like,
Mhm.
it went to Hurricane 5, like 180, 90 like miles an hour in 10 hours, some crazy thing. And then I think it kind of dwindled a little bit with what was up there. But I
Yeah.
know there's still plenty of damage and people are still recovering from Helene. So it's
Yeah.
just kind of awful across all of that stuff
Mhm.
that's been hit the last few weeks. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, send some love out there, man. It's a rough time, and for those in my fellow Floridians out there, hopefully, people are safe, and those who had evacuated. And I heard about like 3 million without power, so that's the part that's really concerning
Yeah,
because
that's
I don't know how I would do without power. That is one of the worst things. You are really crippled. So yeah, salute to everybody going through it, and hopefully, people are getting the support they need.
indeed.
But
Well, what
yeah, for
about you?
me,
What else you been up to?
it's been sports and games,
Yeah, I
So
know. You got some hype going into your team here.
yeah,
This has been
man.
why do they I mean, I will say for you, you gotta have your blood pressure checked because they keep
Oh
waiting
God,
until like the last inning to pull some stuff off here that they're doing. I'm going, you guys are playing it rough on your fans.
bro, this is like cardiac arrest. Every game, you're on the edge of your seat, and then something magical happens. So shout out to the New York Mets. I've been loyal to this damn bad news Bears franchise for so
So
long.
honest question, because I truly
Yes,
not
yeah,
as knowing on the baseball history of
sure,
a
sure.
lot of things.
Mhm.
Um, have they won a series and how long's it been? Like, I don't
Oh
know
my
what
God.
their history is with it.
The Mets have won two, one in
Okay.
'69 and one in '86, which is the one I remember as a kid.
Yeah, that
So
would
I
fit for
remember I
you.
was young. We watched that, and then I stood loyal to it. It was the most magical. The thing about the Mets, they don't win, right?
Yeah.
They're the second class citizens in the
So
team
the
of the
Yankees. Yeah,
Yankees.
yeah, yeah.
We are the laughing stock. They lose in the most embarrassing ways, right? Like literally, like this team. Me and Maddie have a joke. We say Xbox has a lot of Mets energy. Like this team
Stepping on rakes left
stepping
all
on
over the
ranks.
place. Yeah.
That's the Mets. Like you just become accustomed to be joked, harassed, and teased. That's being a Mets fan, right? So that's our life. That's what we. When you see another Mets fan, you're like, oh wow, it's one of us.
So
That's your brother.
where would you
Yeah.
put the NFL equivalency for the Mets? I'm curious, actually.
Cleveland Browns.
I was actually going to say the same thing.
Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Brown fans, I understand your pain.
Do they have Deshaun Watson right now, who's like
Yes.
completely
Yes,
useless?
yes,
yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
yeah.
yes, yeah.
He like
Cleveland
walked off
Browns-
and like abandoned mid game. I'm going, what are you doing?
Yeah, Cleveland Browns, New York Mets, that's that same energy. So pretty much now the thing about the Mets though is when they do win, it's the most magical storybook. Oh my God, the ball went through someone's legs.
Oh man.
That type of win. So when you get one, you're like, oh my God, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. So yeah, like it was just a magical. And then shout out to your twin. You know who I feel you look
You
like.
said
Pete
twin,
Alonso.
and I'm like, I did not know
Bro,
I had a twin.
Yes. Pete Alonso. Like my favorite player on the Mets is Pete Alonso. You are Pete Alonso's twin. Like you got to really take a look
Pete
at Pete
Alonso.
Yes. The polar bear. That's our guy. That's my guy right
I don't know what
That's
to
his
think of
nickname.
that.
The polar bear, man. That's you. I'm telling you. Look at Pete Alonso. That's you. All you got to do is get dyed of hair.
Oh, my hair is brown. What's his?
I think it feels like
He's always wearing a
light
hat in all these
brown.
pictures. So
It's like a light brown. But yeah, that's your twin out there.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Same side
Oh, yeah, he's a
profile.
little-
Side profile specifically. For sure. Nose, the whole bit. So yeah, so they did their thing. But yeah, Mets winning, and then obviously we got our Niners tonight. But as far as games, playing, I can talk about that I'm playing Metaphor. I'm not going to say what I'm doing in Metaphor because the embargo is crazy. But they said
I believe
can
that. But you can
Yeah,
say
they
that
said
you're playing it for review,
Yes.
kind of thing. Cool.
I'm playing it for review, and I am enjoying the hell out of it. It's been
I mean,
great.
some reviews are out, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm just being extra careful.
No, that's
'Cause the
totally
game-
fine. I was just going to say there are different.
Yeah.
In case you don't know, there are media, there are content,
Yeah.
there's different reviews and embargoes for all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so the game is fantastic. I cleared the first dungeon. Mechanic, story, just phenomenal. It is really a great game, and they start to open up how much depth the game has with all the systems and stuff, and I'm really impressed. So kudos to them. I think Atlas, if they keep this up, and I obviously got to see this thing through. This could be a contender. This could definitely be a contender for sure.
I keep hearing, like, was it Barrett on Kind of Funny gave it a 10 out of 10. It's his game of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sitting. What does somebody say, like Japanese game of the year or something along those lines for the? No, just for everything for this year. It was where is it? I'm trying to look for like a list of like top picks this year. Games. Because it was Metaphor ReFantazio.
Yes.
Elden Ring's DLC was another one. Astrobot was another one.
Yes.
And then there was like
Up there
one
with the
more.
highest Metacritics, yeah.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was another one.
Rebirth is
And they're all like upper 90s, and they're all from Japanese studios. And it's just like they have been absolutely killing it this year. So it's
man. Highly recommend. I know it's a commitment, but it's like, man, if you could sneak it in, at least try it. You know,
I mean, the
would just
demo
say
I
try the
downloaded.
demo.
Yeah, I was gonna say I downloaded the demo.
Yeah,
I
try
haven't
the demo.
touched it yet, though. I just haven't had time. But I was gonna ask, like, how does the demo let you see? Does the demo let you see potential, or does it dive into those systems you're talking about? How? I mean, I heard it was like 6 to 10 hour demo, so it's not short.
Yeah. Both. It definitely gives you a beautiful walkthrough from the beginning, gives you the story context, which is actually pretty solid. And then again, the characters, the system was some of the best voice acting. And I'll be honest, as a person who doesn't really, not a hardcore Persona guy like that, you know, I get it, the school setting in Persona and stuff like that. I'm like, I get some people why they would like that.
Yeah.
This is more for
full
the
fantasy,
mature
right?
crowd.
Yeah.
Full fantasy, mature crowd, and some stuff going on. They got some themes. They got some.
Oh, I
really-
heard a couple of them. We don't need to bring them up
Yeah.
on air, but
Yes,
yeah, I was
yes,
like,
yes,
we're
yes.
going to touch on this, and okay.
Yes. Yeah,
I mean, it
so
was like, well, the ones I heard, so we'll just throw them out there. One was classism. You got racism in there. I'm going,
yeah,
okay, cool, fun stuff, great.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
just
They
easy,
all play
simple
real with it.
topics to break down, and then, but you got 80 hours or something, whatever, to break it down. I hear, so you're gonna have some time to dig in. But yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I've only heard good things, so it's definitely one I don't know if I'll fit in, but it feels like it justifies like its place on the pantheon of the year for sure.
And for me, which is huge, is the fact that it's a Windows kind of Xbox Play Anywhere game, which I love, which is rare because normally only the Game Pass ones are that. And it's not a Game Pass game. So basically, what it is if I could play it on Xbox, I can play it on the app on the Xbox app on PC and continue that cross progression stuff. And that's huge, especially these big long games.
Yeah,
Like, you know what I mean?
You got a
cross
trip. Hey,
progression
I'll
is
work on more of
huge.
that here or whatever. So
Yeah. Like shout out to Baldur's Gate who does it. Shout out to Cyberpunk that does it as
nice.
well. I love those huge games that actually offer cross progression depending on the
Yeah. I
platform.
mean, it's not that hard, like to have a cloud
Mhm.
save and then have it pull from different places. So I feel like more and more
Yeah.
stuff should probably do that.
Yeah, so that's it. And then the last thing, I actually did start Diablo very early, like a
Nice.
couple of hours in. I just wanted to mess with Spiritborn and see what's going on.
It's legit.
I did, yeah. I'm doing like the poison centipede
That's what I took all the way
thing.
through my review. I reviewed it, took it all the way through
Yeah.
the whole campaign, basically took it into a little bit of in-game in the preview. I went Centipede like the
Mhm.
whole way. For me, that was what I
Yeah.
enjoyed.
So I got the poison armor, poison punch. I got some long range eagle throwing thing,
The
and I
spinny
forgot what
thing.
I didn't do that one. It's almost like darts, like
Oh, I know what you're
almost
talking.
like
And they come back
yeah,
to you.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
tried the eagle for me, and again, I need to try it again. Like I
yeah.
started with the gorilla in this run, and it is
I got
slower
gorilla
and kind
punch.
of tankier. The big ultimate's kind of cool. Think about the
Yeah,
centipede. When you get the ultimate, man, that thing lasts forever. And I can be
yeah,
in one room of a dungeon, walk to another, he like goes underground and pops up in the next room, keeps cooking in the next room for me. Like
sick,
the centipede stuff is legit.
sick.
Like
Yeah,
I fully agree. Like that's kind of it's
yeah.
got me right now.
I like it, and like I said, I just like the fact that as a person who really liked Diablo, the base game, one of the things that really impressed me was the fact that the story was so good. Like the main campaign in a Diablo game was good. So the fact that this is a direct continuation and more story, and according to what you call these guys, they're talking about like almost every year they're gonna want to do more like content like
Sounds
this.
kind of what they're going for cadence wise, yeah.
Yeah, and I like that. Just get in, I get out. So I'm gonna knock that story out and getting going in that. And of course, Destiny,
Yeah.
little Revenant that we'll talk about.
So yeah, for me, Diablo, same thing. Been playing. I think I'm like level 42, but I played the whole review campaign. Know what to expect. Just put out my tips video this morning, so check that one out if you're
Yeah,
looking
check it out.
to
Yeah,
jump into the Vessel of Hatred. Couple things
hmm
without spoiling story stuff. Like
yeah,
make sure you pick up your mercenaries and then get a second one as soon as both of them unlock, so you can at least start helping them as soon as possible. So as soon as you get a
okay.
mercenary and then their optional quest, at least go get one more. And
hmm
then you can go back to campaign, do whatever you want, but at least do that. And then a couple other tips as well. But no, just
Gotcha.
a year of quality of life stuff for Diablo is seemingly felt. You know, they brought the level
hmm
cap down to 60. So when I finished the campaign at like 55,
Yeah,
I don't have to go grind another 40 levels doing the same stuff for no
yeah,
reason. I'm going to be at cap and then everything's Paragon, in-game
yeah.
grinding. I mean, I'm level 42 and I have a legendary in every slot. And I
Nice.
just got my second unique. So I mean, I'm sitting
Mm,
like maybe two-thirds through the campaign by level, I'm guessing, but I'm like
mm,
decently through the campaign. I'm having fun with my build. And that's, I think, when they did Loot 2.0 or whatever it is back, I think it was
yeah.
season 4, I think Travis mentioned last week. But whenever they did the Loot 2.0, it's just fun. They kind of did some quality of life, like your bags and your gems and kind of the way things are stored, and nightmare dungeons are less of a pain in the butt. There's just a lot of stuff they've done and it shows.
Mm,
Some people are like, is it a lot or a little or is it too much? But I'm like, if you're enjoying Diablo and like you enjoyed it before and you're like, maybe the seasonal thing, you can jump straight into the new campaign if you just
mm,
played it once before. And then if you jump in with like the new character, you've got 4 different play styles you can just mix up and play
yeah.
between. So that's actually been really nice.
Yeah, man. I like Diablo. It's a good palate cleanse, and I
Yep.
could get in, I can get out, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, I've been digging it.
Yep. It's been
hmm
fun. As for Destiny, we did get our new
Yes.
episode. Got a
Yes. Yes.
teaser on Monday with the trailer. We got a teaser for the dungeon, which we'll talk about a little bit.
Yes.
But the new content launched. Now, just so everybody's
hmm
aware, this is episode 2 for Destiny. Episode 2 of 3. There will be no more episodes after 3. We are done with episodes after this one. This one was done in a different format. So seasons previous, they had done week by week by week. Then we had episode 1, which was an act structure. So it would be 3 weeks of story content, kind of 3 weeks off, 3 weeks of story content. They changed it up after some feedback in this one, and I'll be curious how the feedback comes back this time. Because when you trim some of the weekly rotation fat off of the meal is potentially a little more condensed, you could say.
hmm
So some people were kind of joking around with how long was the campaign and the content and what you were doing. They did show a lot of Onslaught in the preview last week.
Yeah.
And that is the main thing that you're going to be doing if you are looking
Right.
for the new seasonal stuff is a fair amount of Onslaught. So if you enjoyed that, you got a new variation on it, different enemies, different maps, some updated weapons and stuff in there. And then we've got some story stuff going on, and we can kind of, I guess, do you want to give a little
Yeah.
spoilery on what happened in the story
Yeah.
here? Okay, we're a couple days in.
can do
So
it.
let
Yeah.
them know what happened in the story. Kind of what's your first, when you jumped in? How'd
Yeah.
it go? What
So
happened?
my first impression off the bat was like the first mission in the first like 10 minutes was already better than anything the previous episode had.
That might have been what I said to you back as well in Discord. I was
Yeah.
like, a lot just happened. Maybe more than the
Yes.
last 18 weeks, but yeah.
Yes. So shout out to obviously we get to see Crow again, you know,
Yeah.
Hunter Vanguard. We're investigating what's going on. It's obviously the echo now goes to Aramis and not Aramis, but Fickrell,
Fickrell,
which
yeah.
is from back in the day, the Barons and all that stuff.
Well, how
So it's
many
good-
years ago was that now?
Wow, Forsaken launch, right?
6 years ago? Because
Isn't it
Forsaken,
surprising? Yeah.
because that would be what the 3 year, 1, 2, 3. Then the 4th year was Destiny 2. Yeah, it's like 5 or 6 years. Been a hot minute.
Forsaken with the Barons was a big deal. What's funny is I never thought that character would be this central figure that would
Yeah.
outlast and continue. We would
I
still
know.
be
Of all
that
things,
character.
yeah.
I
But
didn't see
he'd be
that.
around.
Yeah, so obviously we see what's going on. You know, we get that going. I thought it was an interesting dynamic between Aramis as far as, you know, because I didn't know what they were going to do with Aramis. Last time we saw her, first she was frozen.
Oh,
then
it
she
was the whole
kinda
pirate
working-
thing and nothing really. It was kind of like last episode where not a lot transpired because she got away. So it was this
yes.
not a lot seemed to have really
Yes.
changed. So I agree. So I wasn't
you
sure.
see them- I wasn't sure. See, they're trying to do like a redemption arc potentially, you know, with her. And then I thought it was interesting. The whole prisoner of war thing was kind of funny to me, like the willing thing. That was kind of cool. Did someone give me a news flash? When did Mithrax have some, you know, death dealing, fatal poisoning?
I don't
changing?
know. Apparently that happened a while ago. Somebody asked. I saw Bife answered at some point to somebody, but I'm sitting there just going.
Well, Austin
Apparently
Davis
he's
says
having.
the Nez Cafe and the artifact he owned. for a
Oh,
while.
that's okay. That would
So this
make
is
a
the
little
effects
sense.
of
The
that?
Nezarec type stuff, I guess, the effects of it. Maybe, but yeah, all of a sudden he's over in the corner, kind of on life support with like multiple personalities with life support on a server. I'm going, where did I miss
Where did I
this?
miss this?
Yeah, okay.
Where was this in the lore or cinematically?
Now we've got Nez Quick instead of Nez
Quick. Yo,
Cafe. Oh
that's
my god.
hilarious.
Instead of what is it, Nez Quick? Like that chocolate milk type stuff. Did not
How
know
come
that was a
it was-
thing.
Why they chef up a brew for him? They chef one up for Osiris.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, so that was a little jarring, but I actually don't mind the kind of split personality thing they got going on with him. I think that's quite.
But I feel like we just went through like a kind of an existential crisis with Saint. I was like, are we going to do an existential crisis thing with like Mithrax now? Is this feeling kind of like rehashing the same thing? That's kind of why I was like, I don't know where this falls. You've got more characters around it, but Mithrax, I don't know. So I didn't know about it. So just Mithrax having some issues. I was going, this feels new to me, but I feel like I missed something.
I don't mind it with Mithrax only because I like the character, but sometimes I feel he's very one note. And I like this little flip a little bit. So I want to see what they do with that. Obviously, Ido is like the lovable, adorable.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Everybody's going down before Ido. We will sacrifice
Yeah,
ourselves for Ido. It's what we do.
Yeah. So, you know, obviously, look, so played that. And then I'm trying to remember now the whole conclusion, because obviously you do the mission. Oh, I thought the mission when you try to negotiate with Fickrell, with Crow, I thought that mission was cool because you go there, no one's really attacking you. You're in the Tangled Shore, I believe. It feels like you're in the Tangled Shore area. It feels like that.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, you go to the base, you try to talk, and he's like, "You are not father. You wear his face. You are a fraud." Like I like they calls us dead thing because we're resurrected, kind of thing. So I like
same
that
for him. In fairness,
exactly. So that didn't go well, and the mission I thought was cool with trying to carry an object out. Remember that one? You had to carry a thing out to try to blow the thing up, and that was that. But I'm trying to remember. Help me remember the end now. I'm trying to remember what was the ending now. We do all that. We do the botany stuff, and then we do free the people in Onslaught.
Yeah,
and that was kind of it. I don't remember another. It was kind of like I don't remember.
And
What
now
the
we're
conclusion of it
waiting.
was.
It's like, well, Fickrell
Yeah.
got away, and now we've got to go chase him down. And that's
Correct.
kind of where the key
The
field
field work.
work will do something. I haven't done all of the unlocks for it because my time has been split. I've done some of
Yeah.
them. Yeah, the key field work apparently probably has a bit more, but
Right.
yeah.
And the field work was kind of like, hey, I picked like I went to Europa, find the
Those
object.
barely qualify as field work, man.
Yeah, that was like
So the minor field
Right.
work actually has more involvement than the major field work. The major field
Mhm.
work, you go to like a chemistry set, make a new instance, kill 15 guys, and you're out. That's what
Yes.
2 of them have been so far. I'm going,
Yes.
I had to do like a couple public events over here and then go do a
Mhm.
couple other things for the minor stuff. They're all just kind of checklisty to go
Yeah.
through.
Mhm. But like I said, overall, it was short. It was in and out kind of thing. I thought the quality storytelling was better. I just felt like I said the actual gameplay, loop itself, what we were doing was definitely short. But look, I don't want to get too crazy. I know there's a lot of talk right now about this is only not like an hour and a half, bro. Like this is no, I get it, but there's a part of me that's like, would I wanted this or would I wanted each step of that broken into tune
You
into next week?
imagine this broken into 3 weeks.
That would have been annoying.
But do you think that kind of reveals what the previous episode would be like with the filler cut? Do you think that's really like when you think about how much plot actually happens over the course of like a
Right.
season? It used to be like an event, like 4 weeks of nothing,
Mhm.
something happened, couple
Mhm.
weeks, and then a finale, and now we just have acts where it's going to be like 1, 2, 3 things happen, and that's kind of what you
Right.
get. And the
Kinda
everything was
deep.
just like, hey, filler, go do this activity again, go do it again, go do it again.
Yeah.
So it's
To their credit, I felt they filled a ton of cinematic stuff in between. You know what I'm saying? I give them. Now, I didn't think I was going to get as much cinematic or as much exposition and stuff that I felt was decent quality
Yeah.
exposition. and
it's better
decent
to get
quality-
all
yeah,
of that in one chunk because it
Yeah.
feels a little bit better.
Absolutely.
But it did feel short. I mean, I'm kind of with some people. It did feel on the short side, mostly because you're expecting like one more something. It felt
Yeah.
like.
Yes.
I don't know. Like I know it's Act 1,
Mhm.
and I feel like at least we got to see Fickrell in the beginning.
Yes.
Now I will say, crashing the helm, that was a bit of a surprise.
Oh, I forgot about the biggest part and failsafe. Yes.
Failsafe taking the reins. She's like, I've had
Yes,
ships
yes.
crash before. I know how this works. I was like, nice,
I love
nice
that.
line. Yeah.
Nice. That was
Um,
nice.
So we're in a new social space or a new space, kind of not
Mhm.
social space, but kind of.
Yeah, the solar space is dope. You ain't
Yeah,
lying.
the last city kind of on the side here. You got Spider, you got Aramis down in her prison cell down below if you haven't
Yes,
gone to go
yes,
see
yes.
her.
I
And then
have
you've
gone to see
got Idaho. And then you get to the tonic table, which is not the
Yes.
most intuitive thing in the world.
Very not into. I watched your
By
video.
the way, and it's also kind of like, hey, it's like you need to discover more tonic recipes to be able to get more minor and major field work to go do. But it's just like all you do is you see 7, you're like, how do I get more? And they just when you create enough of a stack of one, then another variation just shows up on your like, and then like the upper icons change and everything. I'm going, tell somebody like.
Yeah,
I
very not into
I
it.
literally saw Cactus do a tweet about it. I was sitting there just like, am I missing something? What am I not seeing?
And that stupid prompt at the bottom yelling at you all the time. I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah, go get
bro?
your
Like, I
ingredients off the shelf, which you don't have to do now, but I did have to do previously.
Yeah.
And then you go craft them. Then you have to wait for the animation. You could show me the take a swig animation one time. I don't need to see it every time. I'm glad you can make them in batches.
They proud of that animation, bro.
That's
They letting
fine.
us see.
Occasionally you turn into a chicken or nothing, and then you come back, and then you imbue them with light, and they pop out. And I'm kind of going, does it need to be a 3-stage process?
Yeah, it's too many steps.
I mean, like,
do
yeah,
thing.
the ingredients aren't required, but now I got to go initiate it, then I got to taste it, then I got to go imbue. Just let me hit the button and pop. Like, I don't know. That doesn't feel net. But the fact that I'm sitting here staring at a menu, like, how do I get more? It's like, you need to discover more recipes. Got it. I need more. Looking at the tonic table. Doesn't tell me anything about how I get more, and I'm just sitting here looking at 7, and I got nothing else going. What do I do? I have ingredients.
Yes.
And then I just start making some, and bam. I'm like, okay, thank you for the clarity. That's one of those where I'm going, just a little the little baby nudge. It's kind of like you're in a dark room in a game, but there's like a light somewhere over here, so you think you probably should go that direction. Those like subtle guidance things. Give me one of those at that moment, because I feel like I'm not the only one who probably did that.
Agreed. I was curious, how are you feeling about Onslaught? New Onslaught 2.0.
It's more Onslaught. I'm not really putting much into the turret you sit down in, because does it do anything if you're not in there?
No, it does nothing.
Okay, that's step one. So if you're not sitting in that. Two, when you sit in that, it does not feel that strong.
Yes, and it takes a while.
And it's a long time to spin up. It burns out pretty quickly at the low level, so it's just like I feel like it doesn't have the power that it needs.
Did you try the air defense little one? There's some
air defense drop shot. I've seen a couple pictures or like a little couple clips of it. It looks like it's a little spicier than anything else. The airstrike at least looks interesting. So that's probably an okay investment. I don't know. For me, when you play tower, like the trip mines are still there, the decoys are still there. Mostly it's just shooting. And I understand this is a game about guns. Totally get it. They want us shooting the guns, using our abilities and those kind of things. But at some point, the defenses need to feel worth the investment.
Yes.
And outside of Saint, who's still, of course, a beast, and then some of the turrets, if you can get them cranked up pretty high, but you could go through just waves of enemies without the defenses on the first, especially the 10 level one. And you could do it without the defenses, and it's going to feel the exact same because you're doing most of the work. You're getting a little help here from like a decoy, maybe holding a few up or whatever, but generally it's on you. What did I say? Yeah, I said Saint. It's Shax. Sorry. But yeah, I think that's kind of why is like it's like they're afraid of making the defenses too powerful.
Yes.
And I don't quite understand the reasoning for that.
Yeah.
It's like they really are putting the pressure on you. And I'm like, okay, well then just do a horde-based thing with 3 guardians trying to hold out for it. As opposed to a tower defense with defenses that don't feel as potent as, in my opinion, if you invest 3 sets of however much into these things that they should be. And that's, again, I haven't spent as much time into it.
True. Or saying he's coming out. He said the trip mines are good. All right, I need to.
Yeah, I've heard there's the stasis trip mines. Yeah. I don't know how high you have to get them upgraded to go full stasis, but so it's like No, go ahead.
No, I was just side tangent. Speaking of stasis, I know you're gonna finish the Onslaught comment. How are you feeling about that stasis exotic also in conjunction with Onslaught and everything?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not vibing.
Yeah, like I like that it's a straight shot, like the micro missile. It has that travel path,
right?
So it's a little easier to hit sometimes. Even though sometimes I swear I'm missing, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
The idea that when you hold the reload, you'll get to special ammo, and then you shoot, and then you hold it again, it's going to go to heavy ammo, and then you're going to get like it's like an ammo finder brick too. I don't even think it's like a full brick.
Finder gun. Like I'm like, this is what this is.
Yeah, and this takes me back to my old argument. Making things based around ammo aren't a fun mechanic, whether it's mods or armor exotics or now a weapon exotic based around ammo.
Yeah.
That's just because apparently they're afraid to give you too many bricks, but you can build into it, but be a little weaker on for it. So it
seems like a deficiency in the game mechanics.
Yeah, this is more of a you got to dig deeper to find the base level problem.
Yeah.
It's a shooter. I understand ammo's there. It's just, and again, Travis is probably a little leaning the other way, but still, it's just one of those things that's bugged me. There's so much around ammo.
But sounds so much. I guess what bugs me is when I have a stasis weapon, or especially a stasis exotic, I feel it should do more stasis things. Yeah. And I feel like this ain't freezing nothing. This ain't
yeah.
Like, why am I gonna use this?
Why am I not just like shooting out crystals, insta freezing people? Like,
but what I will say, bro, finally, Wicked Implement gets its time to shine, baby. Have you used it?
Oh, I haven't used it yet, but there's a lot of stasis artifact stuff going on. So,
boy,
I can see that. I can see that because it got buffed after a little while too.
It was good last season with the buff, but now and then, Bungie, bug on the field, flag on the field. How come the anti-barrier scout mod does not work with Wicked Implement? It does not. Yo, put on Wicked. You're gonna see.
I mean, I believe you.
Temporary scout. I'm like, yo, what is going on? So I think it's some bug.
Gotta be a bug.
Unless they try to tell me that it has it intrinsically, which I know it doesn't. So yeah, they got to fix that. But Wicked Emblem is so good right now. And
I
then with
can
the
believe that. There's
artifact,
a lot of
yeah.
stasis stuff in the artifact, so I can see
Oh,
that playing
so
in for
good.
fun.
hmm Yes. Oh, somebody. Oh, Stasis bow. Okay, I gotta try. I haven't tried the Stasis bow in a while.
I got a
It's cool.
kinetic bow. I broke
Oh
it
yeah, I
down, but
forgot about what's the name of that bow? The what is that? Vergilus curve.
oh,
I'm gonna
Verglass
move that over.
curve.
I'm gonna take that out of
Yeah,
dim.
that
All
would be an
right.
interesting one to mess with
All
too.
right. Telling y'all, man. Wicked implement. Oh, it's intended. It's in the TWAB. All right. All right. They talk about it because they got to fix that.
Oh, here we
Bungie.
go.
Agent 7. Yeah, Agent 7 is a go-to, Austin. Yeah. I feel cheap when I use Agent 7 because it's so powerful, so that's why I bust it out. But because it was Scout Anti-Barrier Month, I was like, I gotta bust out the Wicked Implement. So happy for that one. I always like that.
Oh, it took me a little while to figure this out as well. When
What's
you
up?
open the tonic capsule from the quest menu, it soft locks the game.
Oh no.
So don't
Oh
now you
no.
can I learned later that you can hit the director button and get out of it. So like I would hit map and I could finally get back there. But I
hmm
did it and I was like, I thought I crashed my game 3 times because like computer's still running, but it's just like it's locked on almost like a picture and there's nothing I can
Mm,
interact with. But if I go through the inventory, it's fine. So
that's crazy.
that was a weird one to see. So that kind of locked things down a little bit. People are not
Mhm.
too happy where like getting to certain menus and subscreens, like using the D-pad on controller, are not working. I know that's an issue
Yeah.
for some people I've heard about. Oh, the
Mm-mm-mm.
post-excision cutscene is real busted.
Oh wow,
Like when
really?
you're sitting in space. Oh yeah, it looked really
Yeah.
glitched. I saw a picture, but it just looks messy.
File display pool. I don't see anything about Wicked Implement. I
Um,
thought it would be in here. Well, anti-barrier, I guess it's not a known issue yet.
yeah. Well, that'll probably
Mm,
come up
that'll
as
come
more
up.
people do some testing and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Clarification on Stasis Exotic and Artifact. We have seen reports that Wicked Implement
Oh,
and Conditional Finale aren't receiving the anti-barrier. So this is by design due to the exotics being stasis and having the intrinsic slow pump, which
I'm
could be
sorry.
using
No, stop it. Nuh-uh.
Bungie. You know why? Because Wicked Implement theoretically could be used against every champion.
Of course, but God forbid you actually let an exotic people forgot about be fun.
God damn it, Bungie.
That's annoying to me, but what can I say?
That sucks. Yeah, conditional foul. That's right. Shotgun anti-barrier. That's right. Man, they ain't letting me eat. So I'm gonna have to. What scout are you? Are you gonna go anti-barrier scout or are you doing anti-barrier shotgun for
Is it
primary content?
shoddy? Is that the other
Yeah.
one? Oh, then I'll go
Oh yeah.
scout every time.
So which scout you gonna bust out? What you thinking
Depends
about?
on what I'm doing. Some of the stuff has had arc, so I just got my tarnished metal with volt shot.
Mm-hmm.
Just depends on what the needs are. I mean, I totally forgot about Wicked Implement, so I'll try it for
Yeah,
sure.
bust that bad boy out. Even though we can't use anti-barrier now, but all right, it is what
That's
it is.
so annoying.
Very annoying.
So then, if
Mm-mm-mm.
you okay, that's the thing though, is like barrier enemies are typically far away. Scout rifle being the far away thing is what you would use on that.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not gonna
Go ahead.
break the game with a Wicked Implement. It is too slow and it's a scout rifle. It is never gonna
Trial
be
scout.
that overpowered.
All right,
Sorry.
back. You using the trial scout? I believe was it the prophecy droid? I can't get a good roll on that, man. I'm trying to get headstone on that bad boy. I heard those scouts got buffed crazy. The
Which ones are they?
tech mechanical type ones.
Oh yeah, they got some buffs. I remember those.
Yeah. I gotta pick. Oh yeah, there was a good solar. Wait a minute, there was a good solar scout. The from last season for Tex Mechanica that had a hill
Yeah,
clip.
Time War and
Which
Wayfarer.
yeah, I'm gonna have to bust that out.
Yeah, I've got a few of those.
Okay.
I think I can craft whatever I want from those, but yeah, like fourth times incandescent, random stuff
hmm
like that.
Yeah.
But
You know what's sick that I tried out was Nessa's obligation, the Night Root of Nightmares shoddy.
mm,
I got a roll with destabilizing it and repulsor. It's kind
nice.
of sick. With now that anti barrier shotgun is in. I've been using that too.
Yeah, like I've got an
Mm-mm-mm.
old Glissando scout rifle that's
Yeah,
reconstruction and hatchling. So I mean, there's different stuff I
nice.
can play in a scout if I really want to get into it, but I haven't quite got
Heavy
there.
grenade launcher meta too with the overload. Did you get a good Marty's retribution yet? The old school Saint. That was the one from last year.
Oh,
That season, the Saint one.
I have one. I have a
Mm,
heel clip incandescent.
Chalice. I can't get the combo. I got one either got
I
incandescent or
literally
got
got like I still have had squat in the world of like Elsie's rifle, recluse, missing those types of rolls, but yeah, I get the random grenade launcher. So yeah,
nice, nice.
some stuff's there.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on Onslaught? I think you asked me, but I don't know if I asked you. Where
Yeah,
are you at on the new Onslaught?
it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I like the fact that it's obviously it's falling out mostly with the with the theme. Um, different locale. I don't mind the mode, but I'm with you. It's like if we're going to invest in a horde mode, just let the horde. Let's let the defenses be stronger, right? Let that go in. Now, I only did it one time, so it then goes into the warp into the area where you got to free the prisoners, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is that okay? That seemed a little confusing. I just like, all right, what am I supposed to be
Yeah,
doing?
we're just gonna
Yeah,
put pillars in your way, so when you run around the area, it's just a little bit of a scramble to just go find where everything's at. So you just can't sit in the back and
gotcha.
shoot things. But
Right,
yeah, it's like go in, shoot the little prisoner thing on top, but you gotta get close enough to be able to shoot it. I
right.
haven't done it on high difficulty, so I'm not entirely sure if it's gonna be a pain for that part of things, but we
Yeah.
will have to see.
I'm hearing there are shiny like equivalents when you do it, where you could get double perk
Yeah,
drops and stuff
there are
like that.
double perk, but not
Yeah.
shiny, so
Yep.
almost there. As Data
As
said in his
far
video, almost.
yeah,
No
almost. So as far as
cosmetic, but perks are
no
there.
cosmetic. As far as weapons, I like the grenade launcher. I got the arc. It's got a bait and switch, and I think they have a perk that kind of goes right in line with bait and switch that reloads whenever you shoot from the other two weapons. Something I think it's called Envious Arsenal or something.
Yeah,
That
there's
one's
an
cool. So
arsenal one I remember. I'm trying to think what you were talking about for. Because I got a stasis grenade launcher. I didn't get an arc grenade launcher.
yeah, it's called Bittersweet. Bittersweet. Check that one out. It's I got one with bait and switch and envious arsenal. It's crazy. That new perk envious arsenal is sick. So it says dealing damage with both other weapons before readying this weapon reloads it. So it's a damage phase perk. So
Yeah, yeah,
basically,
yeah.
yeah, it'll be ready to go. So I got that. Now there's another perk
Oh,
on
it's
that.
heavy.
Yeah, it's a heavy. Now it's another one on that one that you got. I want to see if it's good. If people test it out, it's called jolting feedback, dealing repeated
I've
damage
used
with
that.
its.
Yeah.
Is it meta or is it okay? Because it sounded like it would be good, but I didn't try it yet.
Um, Probably on like the right thing, but I mean,
Yeah,
it's definitely got some potential with a little bit of usage so far. I'm
yeah,
trying to
dealing
remember what
repeated
I got it
damage.
on.
Because I got that on a bittersweet too. I just haven't tested it yet.
Yeah, extra damage on something will jolt.
Mm-hmm.
Vantage point. That's what I think I got it on. It's the.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I think I got it on that pulse.
Oh, you got the pulse. Is that an arc pulse?
Yeah, it's an arc pulse.
Got you, got
But
you.
yeah,
Yeah, I think I got
dealing
one of those.
repeated damage with this weapon inflicts jolt. So it's kind of the
Mm.
counter to having to reload. So if you're just sitting there, so if you're going to get the
Yeah,
kills on small stuff and then reload, it's less useful for that. But if you just sit there and hammer on something bigger and then it jolts and takes the other ones out, kind of a balance. So I could see it being. I'm trying to think what it would be good on.
I wonder if the jolt damage is actually lesser than volt shot jolt. That's
Yeah,
gonna be
it
the
would be
key.
interesting to try.
Yeah.
Apparently, plug one is coming back. That's going
All
to
right.
have
So
bolt shot.
Austinator. So if you're wondering, Cog, Bittersweet can roll with both Envious and Cascade Point. So this thing is 100% a swap GL. Yeah, yeah. It's a damage fade. I like that because I think Proctor was talking about that perk Envious in the stream specifically for people who love weapons for DPS phases and stuff like that.
Yeah, dealing
So I like
damage
all
with
that.
both weapons refills it from reserves. And
Yeah.
then bait and switch, dealing damage with all equipped weapons within a short time. Yeah, so you would hit the other two up, switch over, do your
Hmm.
first one with bait and switch, let that hit, and then like they all go.
Nice.
Yeah. And then that Dark Ether Reaper, the origin trait. I keep seeing those things come at me, and I was trying to figure out what they were. And basically, the charges can be detonated early with weapon fire, or by coming into contact them, and doing so refills the weapon from reserves. So if you
Mm,
pick up the Dark Ether charges that kind of come at you from final blows, you can
yeah.
actually just refill your weapon from reserve. So not bad.
Gotcha. Yeah, not bad, not bad. Oh, did you see the what I did notice? Did you see the new enhanced perk weapon mods? So there's mods
Yes, I
now
did.
that if the weapon is enhanced,
Yep.
There's one that was like a heavy ammo finder. There's one that like gives you a double boost to both range and this. I was like, okay, but
Yep.
we playing around with stuff, making enhanced worth it. That's a lot to enhance now. Like the materials required, I feel, is an investment. Like you have to love that role. So
Yeah.
it's good to see that the mods are getting better.
Yeah, what were they? There were some zoom modifications, I remember. There's one that added blast radius and projectile velocity, another one that added there's a couple different ones. And then if it's on a primary, you can get special or heavy. And then if it's on a special, I think you can get the heavy.
Yes.
And heavy doesn't really have any ammo drops or anything. So I did see those. Those are kind of interesting. Again, more ammo stuff, but
yeah.
Reload speed and handling on a grenade launcher. There you go. That makes more sense than just always having backup mag.
Yes, because that was getting annoying. That's all we was picking.
Yeah, so that was getting a little less fun.
Yes,
so,
sir.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of, again, like, they are doing some interesting stuff with the weapons. Weapons team is kind of firing on most cylinders as much as they can in the sandbox without breaking things. They're really trying to stretch the box a little bit and see if they can find a little more room and put something kind of fun over here, put something over here, and they're trying to do that without absolutely breaking what we've got basically access to already, which is got to be an interesting challenge for them for sure. Because it's one of those that's
oh yeah, it's got to be difficult, man. It's not easy.
Yep. Oh, I was gonna look what craftable weapons there are.
Are there?
It's literally just garden.
Oh, that's right. I forgot garden came back with craftable.
Garden is the only craftable stuff. So you got Sacred Provenance. That is what is it? Kinetic? Is it a 4-burst? One of my favorite types. Aggressive, hard-hitting 4-burst. Yeah, that one is too.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Rapid hit, kill clip, kinetic tremors. Lone Wolf slightly improves aim assist, aim down sights, and airborne effectiveness. I'm like, that's PvP. That's what that is.
That's definitely what that is.
I haven't looked through like all the weapons to know like, but I mean, for me to go run Garden of Salvation with all the other stuff I got to do, not really a high priority for me.
Yeah, I've never really outside of. I mean, the boss encounter was cool. You made the plates and stuff. You fight the kind of big Megatron kind of thing in the back, but like Garden never really did it for me. Something about that raid, I don't know what it is. I'm like,
not your favorite. What?
Yeah, not one of those that I was like very hyped to run again. One of those. I think that was the one raid me and you and Scarrow did together. Because of that raid, I have I have a day one, the week one weekend completion because of that, that emblem. But other than that, I was like,
yeah, like even the kinetic bow with kinetic tremors is like, I don't know how many shots it's going to take to proc it, but yeah. I mean, you got Archer's Tempo, you got Firefly on a bow. That could be a little bit of fun, but yeah, it's like I don't know if I will make that a priority to go get those. I haven't got all the raid weapons overall anyway, so it's not going to be the biggest deal in the world.
How are you Titans feeling now with the...
Oh, I'm a hunter. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's right. I show you're a hunter, man. I forget that.
I mean, I just don't want to go through and do the whole final shape stuff right now, so it's...
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I was just messing around with a couple of the new exotics and stuff like that.
So what do you think? Because what I've heard so far at the moment is that the only way to get the new exotics right now is to level up Shaxx one time and then to go focus on specifically like getting your exotics to directly get those rolls. There's no other way right now, I don't think.
Wait, really? Wait,
that's what I've heard.
Wait, so the new exotics are tied behind what? I didn't even know how to get them.
So if you go to Rahul, you got to level him up once. So when you do exotic focusing, you can pick which one specifically you do. That's the only way.
I leveled him up from what you call it. I got to level him up again.
You got to level him up again. It starts over.
I didn't know that. So it's Rahul again.
Yep.
So the hustle is, you said people are going to Shaxx, you said?
No, sorry. I may have misspoke. It's just Rahul.
Okay, gotcha. So basically I got to level him up again. And then once I get, then I can, got it. They back on that again. I don't know how I feel about that system with new exotics though. Like to go to Rahul to get an exotic doesn't feel right.
I mean, honestly, this is one of the arguments for like a Destiny 3.
Right.
Most exotics aren't feeling exotic like that. I mean, they're
Mhm.
part of a build. Like they do kind of cool things.
Mhm.
The way you acquire, I will say, like exotics in and of themselves, like the armor can have some cool functions.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would say the way you acquire so many exotics between the
Yes.
season pass giving you one, and
Give
then
you
the
one.
armor now just coming from like a reputation specific exotic and go pick it up,
Right.
like that doesn't feel
I agree.
cool. Like in
Yeah, I agree. I think that I actually didn't mind when I had to grind the lost sector to get it. I didn't mind that. I just feel like I don't know. I don't understand the mentality of saying, you know, keep grinding, leveling up this guy, and then just turn in an exotic engram and then get one, as opposed to the random drop. But I guess did people complain about the randomness and they were just not getting stuff?
I
Because I
mean,
feel like at this point, like, bro, you do Gambit, you do strikes, you like the game is showering you with exotics.
oh, I
I feel
know, and
like
that's kind of thing. Like exotic engrams come so much now; they don't have the value they used to. Like, and I know
yeah,
we're going nostalgia from like however many years ago, but
true.
truly, like, yeah, exotics don't feel. Exotic
Yeah.
engrams, especially, used to be like, oh, I got one, and now
You
it's just
got one. You're
like,
like, oh
here you
man.
go, here you go, here you
Yeah.
go, and I'm like, I have to like just go turn in exotic engrams so I have room to pick up
Right.
more stuff. I'm going, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one to solve because maybe I know maybe I'm in the minority. A lot of people do not like the grinding of the legendary lost sector, but I was one of the people that actually didn't mind that.
I used
You know
to
what I'm
do
saying?
videos on that. Like,
Yeah, like I
it's
actually did. I'm like, okay, it's exotic. I got to do something difficult. Get in there, work on a build, and try to get this thing
I
done
guess
for a
the biggest
chance
thing
at
for
it.
me is the fact that it was like they seem to just do like only one place. If it was in the
Yes,
exotics,
true,
if it
true,
was
true,
with
true.
Rahul, and if it could also randomly drop somewhere else, you'd have some places. But it always
Mhm.
seems to be like just one bucket.
Yes.
If it was in Legendary Lost Sectors, you could grind that out as like a solo player if you got the kind
Yeah.
of skill to put a build together.
Yeah.
You could probably work on that. Maybe you did
Yeah.
not save up 27
Yeah.
exotic engrams between your three characters and the postmaster. So maybe
Right.
the reputation's going to take you a little while. So maybe you do
Right.
go grind, or maybe you're just out playing it and you randomly get something to drop. Like
Yeah.
I, as little wow factor as I feel like getting an exotic engram has now,
Mhm.
I don't know what the harm would be in having them drop in multiple places.
Now, when you say multiple places, multiple difficult content places, or multiple places just in general for
Well, I
any
mean,
exotic?
if they want to have the direct path through a hole, you could have the
Right.
legendary lost sectors, and then maybe your nightfalls and other stuff or whatever.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's
Doing
like
both
just
things as opposed
multiple
to
like sources
right.
of acquiring them that take a little bit of effort, but like
Mm.
it seems like, oh, it's only in lost sectors. Well, now we're going to give
Yes.
you Rahul focusing, and then now they've taken away the lost sectors, which I feel like is like an
Yeah.
odd thing. So
Which
now what
lost
am I going to
sectors?
do in those?
Yeah.
Just going to go for the world drops? That's not going to
World
happen.
dropped, which is kind of that's not like super enticing
Well, and then
to
I
do.
think
Yeah.
doesn't Banshee has the recent world drops available? No, the new ones are only in the lost sectors, but he
Correct.
has last seasons.
Last
So
seasons, yeah.
if
You
you
got his
wait an
own.
episode, you don't have to go grind out like a world
Right.
drop in a lost sector, which is that's going to be some pain, I'm sure.
And then
So
we
it's
got
just
Zer coming through with he
yeah,
dropping.
they're dropping Artifice
You know.
armor. I think the final week or whatever he did something.
Really?
Yeah, I was
Oh, I didn't
surprised I
know.
saw that
Oh,
one.
I,
So
no, I missed that.
yeah.
I did not know that.
Um,
Okay.
so I think that's kind of like if you're gonna there's always enough other RNG between stat rolls and distribution. And I was like, after playing a pretty good amount of Diablo, I was like, I have
Mm-hmm.
two different uniques that I got. They're the exact same thing for my legs. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to pick the better one, but it's just the fact that I can get a lot of them. And it's
Yeah.
sometimes that stinginess in certain odd places. I always feel like it's kind of like, why? Why do you feel like you
Yeah.
got to hold back there?
It's there.
But I can go
Yeah.
do 3 Vanguard ops and get an exotic.
Get
So it's like
exotic.
the value of it doesn't seem that bad. So it's either you have a few limited sources, or you got to
Mhm.
go bash your head against something that somebody doesn't like, or grind out something that's not fun.
Yeah. They're
Like,
trying to incentivize the core playlist that to the casual base to
yeah.
get them stuff. That's
And
what it
Diablo
sounds like.
loot does matter a bit more. And that's fair.
Yeah.
It does, which is why hopefully the armor and weapon tiers and rework and all that stuff actually matters. So that's kind of the thing too right now that makes some of this difficult. It's like, do I want to go grind out Onslaught for a bunch of new weapons? I
Yeah.
have a lot of weapons.
Me too.
I don't
Me too.
have every specific combination that's on some of these new ones, but I have a lot that can get some jobs done. And then it really just comes down to where they shove you with regards to modifiers. If they shove you towards stasis a lot, you're like, well, I guess I'll look into some of these weapons and I'm gonna get a couple good rolls, but depends on what you've already got. And that's, I think, for me, is like, do I really want to go grind out Onslaught a bunch? I'll do it some. I'm more looking forward to the dungeon than I am going back to Onslaught.
Yeah, part of me is like, I just want to grind a little bit just because I don't know if we transition to the dungeon now, but
we can, yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. I like that trailer. I like that trailer a lot. I thought the aesthetic was giving me a lot of Deep Stone Crypt vibes with a haunted kind of thing.
Yeah, when Atrax is in it, of course it is.
Bro. Oh, I didn't even know Atrax was in it. Oh, wow. I didn't even realize it. I completely missed that.
Hold on. I'm going to send you a picture.
Yeah, send me the joint. Yo, that joint looked fly. Like, the thing I like about this so far is the best part about this episode is the aesthetic. The aesthetic is dope. We got the Barons, we got the Vampire, we got all this stuff. But now you want to throw me that Deep Stone Crypt vibe. I've always liked that. Like, it's a very clean, scientific look. And I always thought,
even that's not Atrax, it's his clone. See the head mostly?
Yeah, I see the head. Yeah. This is what was flashing in and out every couple of seconds.
Towards the end of the trailer.
Yes. Let's go. So yeah, I've been looking forward to this, man. So besides we got this reveal, people will probably screenshot it. No lore on what we're doing.
Not a clue yet.
Okay.
Yeah, Atrax is a she. Sorry.
Oh, so apologies. So Atrax is a she.
Mrs. Atrax.
Yeah, we killed the wrong Atrax in the Deep Stone Crypt. She got away in the lore. All right, we're gonna find out.
So we're just gonna go with the comic books. Things never die for real. Is that what we're doing here?
That and what's your man that we fought as
Tonics we fought. Yeah, he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back in multiple forms. Just in cyborg form later on. He's just gonna come back in an exosuit.
Yeah, I'm excited. I like what I see for that. And I will say that I might have to get in. I mean, how can I get that drip? That hoodie is fire.
For what?
The drip for the dungeon.
Oh, I gotta look at that real quick.
Vespa.
Where is that trailer?
Crazy. Vespers Host active wear hoodie.
There it is.
That joint is tough. Beat it before January.
Oh, the actual 4th? The hoodie. Yeah. No, that's
That's tough. And it's a zip joint. That's what we need.
That's why. Yeah, I was like, I gotta have the zip because we went into this whole thing last week where I have an issue being warm, so I got to be able to open the. Got so much of a hard time from that.
There you go. Shout out to Jim. He said, Cole was like, he agreed. Onslaught's become a chore, especially when you complete it with randoms. Yeah, I feel you.
I haven't done the high difficulty one yet to see how far it would go right now. So that's one I haven't dabbled into yet. I probably will do a little bit of that today to just see. But I haven't gone far into it yet. Trying to see where we get to numbers wise. So our peak players for launch.
How did we do?
Peak players for launch were 78,000.
Wow, I am impressed by that. I was in the 50s, I think.
Now 24-hour peak after the first day, 52.
All right, so I was in pocket.
That's why I said day one.
Day one.
I was like, and for me, the bigger question is going to be, you got the dungeon and you got Act 1. I want to know what next week is like. People
still love that.
Tuesday, Wednesday. Where are we at?
This is a season. And I granted, it's some just new content, stuff like that. I didn't expect that many people to flock back for that.
I think that's probably the amount of people who bought the Year of Destiny on Steam. Because they already own it. So they're going to jump on the first day, see what's there, do the dungeon on Friday, maybe do a little more on week 2, maybe grind a little bit. And then there's probably going to be, that's what I'm saying, like week 3 on Wednesday. So whatever that ends up being, that's what I want to see, that player peak at that point. On a random Wednesday, day after, like a day after reset, so not counting a Tuesday, that's where I want to see the real numbers. But I mean, the fact that it went 78 and then it peaked at 52 after that, give it a week or so, it might drop back down to where it was, and that could be a bad sign too. So I don't know. And again, this is only Steam. I get it. There's console. But a general trend is what I'm looking at more than the actual numbers.
Yeah, it does still show, like, when they do drop content, people are interested. But now it's just a matter of sustainability, like you said, and drop off. How long is the retention? Is going to
Yeah.
be the key? That's
So a couple things. We've got the dates of when the season is going to happen, like acts wise. So Act 2 is going to drop on, where's that message I put in my Discord? Come on.
Where's Act 2?
Where'd that go? We haven't talked about that much recently. Oh, that is October 8th. Oh, here we go. So Act 2 is November 19th.
Yeah, about a month.
That's going to be kind of your... Then you got Act 3, January 7th.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a little longer because we kind of guessed, like, are they going to do an act on December 31st? Probably not.
Probably not.
But episode 3, Heresy, February 4th. That final act is 4 weeks long.
Oh, wow.
It's short.
It's short, yeah.
So, one, I think they are smart to go with February 4th because you'll have Festival of Lost in this act.
Yep.
You're going to have the Dawning in the next act with what looks to be, by the way, we can probably get a little into it now. So it looks like Act 2, November 19th, you're going to have Festival of the Lost or you're going to have the Dawning in the later part of that. But it looks like you're going to be back in the Tomb of Elders.
Really?
So if you go, Challenge of Elders, Prison of Elders. Remember
that rumor is true.
So if you go in and you look at the reagents in your little toxic on the tonic capsule, if you go look at the bottom and see them, when you get over to the last two blue ones, one of them says going to come from Tomb of Elders. It just says it right on the ingredient. And then the one next to that is going to come from the exotic mission Kel's Fall.
Prison of Elders.
So Tomb of Elders is going to be Prison of Elders, to no surprise. You're going to have probably Varric's back a little bit. You got Mithrax. We're going to go talk to Spider tomorrow for the dungeon, so I'm curious how much he's involved for the season, but nothing as of today, but seasonal maybe. So Act 2 seems like Tomb of Elders. That's going to give you some, rotations and stuff to work through for a couple of weeks, maybe. We'll see. I don't know how that's all going to work. And then now the question... No, that's fine. I enjoy the voice.
I miss his foolishness.
Yeah.
Strategist, Silex the Defier. He would say the most ridiculous things and be so excited that you're fighting it. Sorry, I had to get my
mind. No, you're good. So the other question I want to ask you, Exotic Mission Week 3. Or Exotic Mission in Act 3, I should say.
Oh, they better not. They better not.
But I was going to ask you.
They better not. I will go in on them again. It better be rationed correctly. If you're gonna put it behind a story beat, it better be one time and then the rest optional. Do not hold up the story because you don't got no content and you want to force us to do that damn exotic mission 8 times. They better not do that.
Now, granted, you get all of Act 3 at once. So I mean, do you think they really would make you run it 5 or 6 times?
I am very worried after the Echoes. What was the last episode name? Was it just Echoes?
Echoes, it was
Echoes had me nervous. That was like, wow, you have nothing for us to do. Like, you literally are trapping us.
Yeah. Bruh. Now, Medivh has a good point. Catalyst, that's where your multiple runs might be coming in.
Of course. And that's expected.
Right.
Just do not halt the story behind this. That's all I got to say.
You can have secrets and multiple runs and unlock stuff that way.
Of course.
That I kind of get where those are going to happen or play in. And now maybe you could actually go through, like, how we had different ways to unlock the different missions?
Yeah.
Like, maybe you could do it in, like, one normal run and then do another run, and you could probably do it in, like, 2, maybe 3, like, if you actually can unlock all the stuff. Like, let us work through it. But yeah, multiple runs for the catalysts.
Yeah, that's
been a thing for a while. But just story beat wise,
that was abnormal.
Yeah, we don't need 3 story repeats with like a few more guys each time. That was less than ideal. But it's called Kel's Fall. So I wanted to ask you, do you think we actually kill Fickrell? Because right now he wants to be the Kel of Kells. That's the story.
I don't think we've ever killed a major character in a dungeon.
Exactly.
I can't think of any dungeon that we've killed.
That brings me back to my problem. Do you think we're actually going to kill Fickrell? Do you think we're going to take him down? Do you think we're even going to get the Echo back because we did not get the first one back?
That is a good point. We did not get the first one back. That's another problem with these episodes is that I don't feel like we're getting, finality with a lot of this Echo stuff.
Who did I hear say it? It might have been Bife or something. He's like, maybe you go through all 3 of these episodes at the end. You finally have to go do something at the end of Act 3, Episode 3. take out the 3 major things that we fought, to get all of the echoes, to power up the dreadnought so we can go do whatever's going to be outside of the Sol system. I'm like, I have no idea if that's how it would go, but
yeah, it would be nice for once though if they had the balls to kill a major boss-like character in a dungeon. You know, raids, we've done it, but dungeons have always been some side show, nameless thing.
Well, that's why this thing feels all vexy, and then you've got now Fallen in here, which is a little surprising, actually. But
I would love Bungie to take some narrative balls here with this one or in the future. Like, yo, let's kill something major in it. Let's stop making it a no-name. It's okay. It's okay to have some finality with certain stuff. That's all I'm saying. Because the dungeons be cool and the aesthetics be dope.
Yeah,
I think
spend enough time in dungeons, it would be nice. But yeah, usually they're a little separated from everything else. It's like, okay, cool. Pit of Heresy is cool. What did that have to do with the lore? That's like a extended universe book that you're going to read about over there with that guy.
Yeah.
Still one of the coolest sets of armor that we never got.
Oh, yeah, we never got. I remember that. That was sick. Mm-hmm. What are you thinking about Icebreaker?
Potential. I mean,
kind of excited. Do we know what slot? Do we know what stasis? Do we know anything about it?
It looks like it's solar. Or is it in the trailer? Hold on. It might be in the trailer because it's at the end of the trailer.
Energy solar. Austin it says energy solar.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's a solar explosion. So.
Okay. But you notice they hinted like they want to do something with its namesake or something. They want to kind of flirt with the it's on Light GG. Ooh. All right. Let me check it out right now. Outstanding. Should have said that. It's on Light GG.
Oh, for it. Yeah, I've seen some tweets about it and some kind of data mining information, so sometimes that stuff is...
Yeah, it's up in here. It's up in here. Nope. Oh, should we talk about it? No backpack, Icebreaker?
What, new exotics?
Yeah, no backpack.
Spoiler warning, and excuse me.
Spoiler.
Go ahead. Yep.
In 1, 2, 3. So no backpack, that's one perk. Final blows or assists with any other weapon have the ability or a chance to create ammo for Icebreaker. So defeat powerful combatants will create multiple rounds. So final blows or assists with any other weapon, right? Yep. And then Icebreaker, defeating a target with a weapon causes them to explode. Precision final blows or shattering a frozen target instead triggers an ignition. Interesting. So energy sniper. Interesting. I gotta see how it's going.
Magazine of 10. The thing is, this is not going to be a boss DPS weapon. That's the key. And I think that's where they probably feel safe about it, is because you have to get final blows or assists, so enemies are going to have to die. You can't just, have this one in waiting during a DPS phase. Right. Well, you could have it one time, but you're not going to have it multiple times over.
Yeah.
And it looks like...
Yeah, go.
These the catalysts or these, perks? I'm trying to see... Can't really see the catalysts, it looks like.
Yeah, they're going to have a sick catalyst. So wait, this is dungeon accessible only?
Yes.
Okay.
Guaranteed if you beat it during contest.
Interesting.
Which I appreciate. Reward the contest clears. I'm fine with that.
I can respect that. All right. So far so good. Snipers did get a nice buff though against.
They keep trying to make them strong, man. They are doing their best to try and go. Please use us, snipers. We've made so many good ones.
Yeah, Dizzy, I'm with you. He said, was hoping Icebreaker is similar to that. Yeah, I thought they was going to go a fire and ice. Kind of, you wanted like conditional finality in a way. Yeah, I was thinking that too, kind of combine. I thought there's going to have some type of an ice component to it. But, I mean, they do in the sense that you could break, shattering a frozen target. Triggers an ignition. Interesting. Austin says you can tell the catalyst is pretty nasty. All right, so you already know y'all out here data mining, it seems.
Oh, yeah, I feel like I've got a couple of people around me that do that occasionally.
Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be fun to see it again. It's been a minute, man. Icebreaker, wow.
Yeah, that's classic old D1. School D1 coming back.
D1. That's the one we thought would never come back.
And they made it to where it's not just going to create stuff on its own, which we kind of figured it had to.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're too ammo economy. There's way too many things about it. You can't just have a sniper making ammo just by sitting there. So that would be a little rough.
Well, I know I had a question for you.
Yeah.
Titan they came. I know you haven't been playing Titan this season,
Yeah.
but how did you feel about them kind of leaning into personalities per class? So now the Titan melee will do more damage. Now also the barricade stuff where it causes aggro.
By all means,
Like,
like lean into it hard,
yeah.
happily. Like
Mhm.
that's the type of stuff that, because generally right now you're just picking a set of abilities that are behind a, like, you know, and trying to think of the right word here and I'm blanking, but basically behind, like, pick your shell of a character
Yeah.
and pick the abilities you want to play with. There's not really like identity to a tank, a DPS, a mobility, like an assassin. They don't feel like they have that. They have a different jump and you have different abilities, but it doesn't specifically say like I'm a tank, I am a defensive guy, I have these abilities that lean this way, but it's never felt like they've gone that far. So I mean, I've always hoped they could do that. The Warlock should always be a glass cannon, just a bit more than the other ones to a point.
Why we gotta be the glass? Why can't the hunters be the glass?
That's not how that works.
Oh, we gotta be the glass. These
A
dudes are
mage is
frail.
always the glass cannon. That is how that works.
Oh my god, those dudes is frail and frolicking around. And,
Yeah, and you can
floating
also
around.
nuke an entire city, hence the glass
But we could
cannon.
do like little defensive stuff and
That's
support
not
stuff.
how that. You throw Nova bombs and energy beams like Kamehamehas. You don't get
Yes.
to be also tanky. You don't
No,
get
I
to
don't
do
necessarily
both.
gotta be taken, but glass cannon feels like the weakest of the three.
No. If you're
feel like
good
the
at playing a
hunters-
glass cannon, you're stronger than anybody else. That's the key.
I think the hunters are the glass cannon, but we gonna let
That is
ride.
not how that works. No, this is not how this
The
works.
hunters are the front line guys in the
No,
mix.
never said
They-
that. That's the
Shoot
Titan.
people in the face.
That's the Titan.
Right. So if I'm talking, this is really a hunter and warlock discussion. I agree. Titans are supposed to have that role.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying warlocks do, but between the warlocks
Warlocks are meant to be your magical glass cannons. You're literally wearing the cloth armor. You're wearing the robe already. So then you have a hunter over here.
Us. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm sorry. This one is not a really good battle to have. I'm sorry. This is
And then, I want you to explain why the hunter is tougher.
because they're literally going to be more physical. They have to be more mobile. You float. They actually have to use their muscles. Of course, they're going to be a little
So
tougher.
now we jump shaving. Okay.
Yes, jump shaming. Anything else I can shame for a warlock?
Okay,
Let's see.
got it. I'm trying to
Yeah,
see how
okay,
you got there.
yeah.
You're a hunter now. I see this hunter vibe is coming out of
Yeah.
you now. Okay, I see it. I see it.
Literally, I'm still like, throwing things, and I've got like,
Mhm.
it's just the way, like an assassin versus a mage versus a warrior. That is exactly what Destiny was kind of trying to be. They just called him different stuff. Also, a hunter
Thank
uses
you.
knives.
Hunter is the hidey hide guy. Yeah, he the hidey guy. Because
Yeah,
when they
the
get caught, they get-
assassin, or they're using a bow, or yes, but that's the thing is we still have to be a bit more durable. Like, so you wear the cloth armor, hunters wear the leather armor because you're like that assassin and you're wearing the black leather ninja armor.
we do put
And then you got the
physical
tank wearing
wards.
plate armor. That's just how these work. That's just how that goes. Go look at
You know,
any fantasy thing.
And in any fantasy, warlocks and wizards put up defensive spells and wards and things to protect themselves.
That's why
from
you're squishy.
damage.
That is, yes, but when all of your magic goes away, you are squishy. But you have a lot of magic to avoid being squishy. Hunters
We will
are
battle
going to
this.
they have to be a little bit more durable because they don't get to put up a shield. They got to take at least 2 shots. You only get to take 1.
I will give you the hunter offensive ability could be stronger than the warlock. I will give you that, but I'm gonna fight a little bit on the defensive.
That's not a good.
It's
It's not a
fun
good
one.
fight. It's not a good fight.
It's a fun one. He said you mock hunters being hidey, but all thank God with his GM
Yeah,
time.
exactly. I will tell you. Yeah, any hunter running around who's really good at GMs and be like, "Oh yeah, I'll get you."
It's a fun discussion because I want to see now that they're doing this with Titan. I want to see
Right now
how
they're
they-
leaning like 5%. They need
Right,
to
which
lean
is-
harder. That's the thing I
Yes,
want to
yes.
see.
We know you want the Titans to have everything. We know.
No,
So
I
my
want all the classes to have a actual role.
Right. So my question is going to be, what are they going to lean into for Warlock?
We're
and
never going to
Hunter?
have a healer in this game. So you
Right.
take part of the MMO equation out of it because you have a tank, a healer, and DPS. You have a tank drawing
Technically, we are
aggro.
the healer. Technically, we are the healer. The Warlock.
Okay, then you guys are then yes, you go back to squishy mode. You sit in
We're
the
moving on
back,
past that.
you sit out of like damage range, and you throw heals at other people.
Here you
You
go.
are not fighting.
Oh, we're not fighting. Okay.
No.
Here you go. So my question is, what do you do for the healer guy in your natural attributes to make them more warlocky? What do you do for a hunter to make them more roguey? Because it seems like melee with Titan, they're making that.
Hunter needs to move faster.
Yes.
Straight up needs to move faster. Mobility has pissed me off for 10 years. I've talked about this somewhere in the past 10 years as well. And 100%. I know, Hunter, mobility, if you get mobility, you should run faster. If you got to be nimble, you got to be the guy in the leather armor who, if you take a shot, it's going to hurt a little more than, it's going to hurt, but you can kind of still limp it through. Mm-hmm. If you get shot in the shoulder and you're the healer back there, you're going to cry in the corner. So it's just how that's going to go. But
I would agree.
But you need to be fast. If you're going to be nimble, if you're going to be stealthy, you got to be able to move around the battlefield. Absolutely. Like, that's just got to have a chance to happen.
So for the warlock now, what does the warlock need to have that in the other class a little bit more than the other?
Higher intellect. Actually lean into intellect.
Okay. I like that.
Into
I like that.
Faster recharge times, throwing.
I like that.
I mean, you get a high. Remember, 100 to 200 for intellect. Mm-hmm. Now we're talking about like buffing up supers in PvE. We're gonna throw a Nova Bomb that's like 2x power.
I like this.
I mean, or if you get up to 200, you can like super your supers. Like, I mean, have some fun with the PvE stuff. That's what I'm going for. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. So I mean,
I like
if you go,
intellect means we're smarter. I like that.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Titans are a big wall. We like our crayons. It's fine.
I'm with this.
Yeah. But so if you're going to divide up the stats to be a focus, resilience still could be the Titan, and the more you lean into it, you've got damage mitigation. But that's where, like, when matchmaking comes in, you would always try and have 3 different, one of each class to kind of have that type come in. You guys would potentially want to have like a healing grenade and then a normal grenade. That's if they really want to lean into not doing a Destiny 3, this is the idea of where you would eventually want to evolve this thing in multiple expansions down the road and build into it.
Yeah.
Because that's what Destiny 3, in a sense, would need to be to really reinvigorate the player base, is classes that are new, abilities that are different, actual class differentiation, and you can still have space magic shooter. You just need to have like a class identity to go with it.
Yeah, I agree. It'll be interesting to see how much they lean into this stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of the one thing is like, it won't happen fast. That's the big thing. Right. It will be a slow trickle to kind of build stuff out. And again, even now they're leaning into tank stuff a little more for a Titan, but it's not a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a little. So it's just kind of one of those.
What's the light requirement for
1985, if I remember correctly? I gotta look. I think it's probably in the TWID. I think it was 1985 you were good for contest. Yeah. You'd be 1985 for contest. The only problem is, like, I'm 2006, maybe 2007 currently for my power level. And when you take off contest, you kind of bring the light level back up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what normal is going to feel like as soon as contest is gone. Yeah. Because you're going to feel under for contest because things are going to be over you. But I'm also curious, like, how much of an advantage you can get if you were higher level. So. Oh, I told you guys, but funny story. I actually saved my bounties for my Warlock from Final Shape prep.
Wow.
I did not log into my Warlock and turn them in on Final Shape at all. So when I was like, I'll just do a few bounties on my Hunter, was looking through, and I went to go look. I was like, why does Destiny Recipe say I'm like 13 levels in a prep? I'm like, I only did one guy. This is weird. And then I went to look. It was like, what bounties are prepped? Everything is done for the Warlock. I was like, oh, God. So then I ended up I literally did my prep in like 2 days. And I did like dailies and like repeatables. And even just like with those two, I think I was like 17 levels. And normally if I do every character perfectly efficient, it was like 21. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't care too much because, a couple days, it's fine. I was waiting on Diablo, waiting on this. And I was like, well, I got to play Diablo. So if I do prep a little over the weekend, all right, fine. So there was a little bounty prep as much as I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?
Getting ready for the dungeon.
So 1985 for contest. Anything for the normal dungeon, I'm probably going to guess 2000, 2005. I don't know what they're going to set that power level at. But nice thing is I'm just going to watch the streams. Watch them go through the dungeon, be like, all right, so you do this here. Now, I'm going to be curious if people are doing streams where it's like they black out all of the screen except You remember that stuff when we were doing...
It was bad for Final Shape, dude.
Final Shape was
so desperate. Like, they would not
They were doing, they were showing, the boss health and like a radar, and they didn't show anything, no builds, no mechanics, no nothing. I'm like, you're streaming a black screen. Like, what are you doing?
Yes. Yeah, it was bad. I have never seen the community get that crazy.
Some
for
content
World
creators are
First.
going to be reasonable. I don't have a team for a contest. I'm not really as worried about it. So I'm going to try and get a gist of the mechanics, watching them, and then try and go through, just put a guide together over the weekend.
Yeah.
That's kind of the goal for the
And
dungeon.
once you do it with the group, you will attempt to solo at one point.
Oh, I'll try and do it solo for my guide. That's the whole point.
Oh, for the guide is off rip solo.
If I can watch other people do the mechanics, yeah. I mean, if I get people that I know want to jump in and we knock it out, then I'll go back and play. And sometimes that helps too. So we'll see if I get.
Have you done every dungeon solo?
Oh, absolutely.
Damn, that boy, good.
Only one I didn't solo flawless the whole way through was Ghost of the Deep. I solo flawless every other dungeon.
Yeah, that was tough. What's the hardest part? The
final boss phase was just like long. And it would get to like, if you get a bad damage phase, it takes like 15 minutes to set up a damage phase in there. Because you got to go to the other room, then come back in the middle, try not to die, where you stand in the place and shoot through the other thing. Go to the other room, do the same thing, make sure you go to the right room. No, it's not that room, go over here. That damage phase setup. And I was in multiple solo flawlesses for 2 hours. And literally just like, oh, I'm sitting up in my good perch spot for damage. And there's just like, bam, 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 and then just a couple too many shots hit at the same time and it's over. And then there goes 2 hours. And I finally got to the point like, I don't need to do a damage phase 5 times. I'm so tired of like, they don't scale it for a solo player.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm like,
it's ridiculous.
Not necessary.
That one's tough because the witch is all far away. And
yeah, so I was using linear fusion rifles or sniper rifles or whatever. That's just, yeah. Yeah, Ghost is just so long. I did Warlord's Ruin. And I know that wasn't a short dungeon either. Soloed that one, and that took some time, but it was like, it just felt different. And I think that one was better because you were chunking damage out of the boss as you worked through. And then you just kind of cycle back and do it again. So it's like every single platform set you were doing damage. So you're always making that progression. It's not like a 20-minute setup. And then if you get a bad setup, you're like, well, okay, now it's half an hour later, I get to go damage. And it was just so many. And then the one before that, the Knight, the Void Hive Knight, in the little tiny room, going down, swimming underneath and stuff like that. That build, I basically had like a broken hammer solar build where everything was on fire and it was constantly being healed. That was really the only way I survived that one because it was just such a tiny room and tons of guys. It was if they don't scale it to solo players, like for a dungeon, then I'm like, this is just not cool.
Yeah, it's tough. That's tough. Did you get the Warlord's Ruin exotic?
No.
Damn. And you soloed it too? Damn.
Yeah, if you solo flawless something, you should probably get the exotic.
You should get
as well.
the damn exotic.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
So yeah, if you do a solo flawless or if you do contest, give me the exotic. You don't care that much about him anyway. Sorry.
No, I agree.
Sorry, Bungie. Occasionally we vent our frustrations here. It's what we do.
Got to get that smoke for that one.
But I feel like that's justified. I feel like that's reasonable. So, well, you ready to get a 5090 next year? Drop $2,500 on a graphics card. I've literally heard $2,000 to $2,500 for a 5090.
That's insane.
Unfortunately, it's probably what I'm going to look at. And I'm going to need a new power supply to go with it. That's the other thing.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly because it's the new adapter and the cable and stuff like that. My buddy actually had a 4090 for 2 years, and his finally at the connector. Did you hear about him burning out?
Oh, no, I didn't know about that. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Go look up the whole 4090. It's the new connector they had. They just literally would burn up at the connector. It was something about the way it was made and like contacts weren't quite right or whatever. And he didn't move his, but it finally just got to the point where it literally would melt the plastic around it. I'm like, kid you not. It's like, if I can find his picture, I'll send it to you. But I was like, what happened? He's like, it died. I was like, oh no.
That's crazy. Wow.
Because he took a picture of his. Come on. Nope. I feel like that's gone too far. Maybe it's on my phone. But yeah, go look it up. Like melting 4090 cables, you'll see plenty of those. So yeah, he had that one. Nice thing is he actually did like an RMA directly through NVIDIA because it was one of the base NVIDIA cards. Got it back full round trip in 2 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Brand new card. So that was actually pretty good.
That's what's up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
they're not manufacturing 4080s and 4090s anymore, so you can't really find those. So when they release the 50s, then that'll
Yeah,
be a
you know how
thing.
to go. You know how that
Practice
go.
is telling me we're mad that episode 1 can be beat in a day or so. I mean, I sent these guys joking memes where somebody's like, took me longer to reinstall Destiny 2 than it took to beat this Act 1. And I was like, that was a pretty good joke.
It was funny.
They were.
I'm not that mad about it. I mean, I think me and Grenade Jake is in the same part. Like, look, I mean, we're hard to hardcore. You're gonna blaze through it. It's an experiment. You know, we bitch that it's being time gated and that kind of stuff. Now, granted, yeah, would have been nice to be a little longer, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and say like, oh, I was thrilled about it, but I'm willing to give it a shot just to see how this new format goes. But I'm curious now, as a result, if they go back. That's what I'm curious about now.
Yeah, I'm wondering what they do with the third, because technically in Codename Apollo, the first 6-month size expansion, like the one that they're doing next year, that one's supposed to have no time gating in a sense. So so it would just be 6 months of content. Here you go. And then they'll have the seasons for a couple of new activities and stuff like that. But the story mostly would basically be told as fast as you could play it.
Right.
Kind of the way like some stuff would be. Do you think, I was like, they probably won't do it for episode 3, but what if they just said, here's episode 3, all of it, Act 1, 2, and 3, if you could play all the way through it? Would you want that? Would you want to be able to play through Act 3 day 1? The whole thing. Or no, I'm sorry, not Act 3. Episode 3.
Yes, because of my playstyle. Because of all what's out in gaming, I got to knock out Destiny, boom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then I can just go back to my other games, and now it's just a matter I can focus on the grind. If I want to do the dungeon, which I'm probably going to do, you know what I'm saying? For in a world where all these other games exist, I actually don't mind it. So I'm just curious now that we've got it, is there going to be pushback for the community like, oh, this is too fast, this is not enough content? You know, I don't know. I don't know if they can make more content now that it's not time gated with less people, so to speak. So I don't know. This is an interesting time period we are.
Yeah.
Like, I personally love I
would love to experience a full story in a couple of days. Like, stream it one day for a good amount of time, work through what I can, play some of the activities, sleep, wake up, stream the second day, and you can experience a full episode, since these are like, trimesters if you're going to give them that, but all at once. And that's going to be however long that content is going to be. The thing at that point is it's got to feel like a decent story. You got to have good writing. Events need to happen. Like, we got to move the plot along at a pretty good clip at that point.
I agree. Long as the story's decent and I feel like it's quality narrative, I don't really have a problem with that format. It allows me to appreciate Destiny more. And then I can go back now, grind for the dungeon, grind for, exotics I don't have, do all that stuff at my own pace now that I've got the major story stuff out the way.
I mean, that's kind of where I wonder how they schedule engagement, because if you say Codename Apollo is here's a story, it's not linear, bounce around between your destinations, do stuff in the order you're going to do. And then from the seasonal stuff and then the season pass things that's where I feel like they can work on their engagement numbers with, like, here's a new dungeon, here's a new activity, here's some new guns with the season. That's where they got to figure out engagement. And that's where I kind of wonder. I mean, Final Shape's a big expansion all at once, same principle. You're just going to blaze it as fast as you can, and most people are done in a day or two. It's just going to be in a smaller instance. I think everybody is tired of the fake drip feed.
Yes.
And that's kind of the thing. Now that we're seeing what it's like when you trim the fat off of the story you're trying to tell, what it's really like, and it is going to be shorter. And that's fine. Not every book has to be 1,000 pages. Most people don't want to go read Great Expectations every day. They want to go enjoy something that they can digest in a reasonable amount of time. Exactly. But at that point, it also doesn't need to be a normal size, book or murder mystery or something that has a bunch of pages you're flipping through that really have nothing going on to make it as long as Great Expectations. And that's kind of what we had. It's like, so I would be very interested to see if they could just do Act 3 all at once. And then, but that's where the only reason I wonder why they wouldn't pushback would be business wise. That's the only reason. It's full business discussions, engagement numbers. When people log in every day, this many people buy stuff in a store. We need to make sure people are coming in. How do we manage that? That's the other side of that coin, is like, I would enjoy the story more if I can go story from A to Z and I can read the whole book. But on the other side, what is the business model? And that's the hard part.
That is very the hard part, and that's the part that they're going to ultimately bend to based on these metrics that they get back after this.
Yeah.
They're going to see. Yeah.
I mean, you're already starting at low numbers, so I guess we'll see where things land. But part of the thing is, too, I forget who was saying it was probably Blizzard at some point, which, take it or leave it. But it was, if people leave your game satisfied or unsatisfied, that kind of depends on where you leave it. So
that is true.
We will see. But
we will see.
Yeah. So next week, I will be out.
Yep.
Just waiting for that to be official, but so far it's looking like it.
Yeah, I got
Gonna go get to see a thing.
Oh, you seen a thing?
Seeing a thing. Yep, doing a thing.
Doing
a thing. Things and stuff.
Things and stuff.
Kicking names and taking ass. Wait.
The Lords will be at the New York Comic Con, so I will be out next week.
Nice, yeah. So and then if we're both gone, then I know Travis isn't gonna.
Yeah, he ain't
be a talking head up here. He's got enough. He's got many other reviews and real life job and all that other stuff to do. So, yeah, next week will be a week off. So the week after, we'll see who's around. We'll definitely talk about the dungeon. That'll give people time to play the dungeon and kind of get a good experience out of it and all that type of stuff.
Josh, she says, "I wonder if the thing is a thing. Is that Scarrow posted a fact?"
Oh. No, I can tell you it's not that. No.
It's not that thing of a thing.
Yeah, shout out to Scarrow. Shout out to Scarrow. He got to play Marathon. So
yes.
So there were some tweets going out there. He was one of the Destiny creators. The other ones I saw were not typical Destiny creators that I saw tweet out, but they got to play Marathon. And I'm not surprised, Scarrow. He's been in the puzzle universe. He solved the first ARG. He's really big with the Bungie Foundation. And somebody was like, "Oh, are you going to get to?" And I was like, for me, if they wanted my perspective on Marathon, if I ever got to do a playtest, the only reason they would ever invite me is if they want to know what a casual PvP player's perspective of this is going to be like. I'm serious, though. Like, that is the reason. It's like, I am not a PvP elite. So what is the average person's experience going to be like? That is the only reason I'm ever getting an invite for Marathon. That's why I don't ever expect an invite for Marathon.
You've gotten a Bungie. You haven't got the Bungie invite yet?
No.
This is BS. What? My man ain't get the invite. Yeah, I just thought about that. I did not get the invite. That's crazy. We got to get him down to HQ, y'all. What's going on, Bungie? Come on, my man.
There are way too many people that have done many things for this game. There are a lot of creators in this, and there's only so much time. So it's.
You're humble, but you deserve to be there.
I mean, I appreciate it, but it's also one of those things. There are tons of people. And depends on what they're looking for and who's going for. And if I don't fit the bill at the moment, I mean, that's kind of the thing you learn in content creation, trying to cover games. No one has ever do a damn thing. You are never like, I deserve to get a review code. You're like, no, you don't. Nobody does.
No, you don't. No one deserves.
No one does. If you are lucky enough to get one, treat it with respect. Do what you can. It's like you got to be prepared for the opportunity.
By my humble opinion, based on your commitment to the game and the type of content that you do to provide people who are returning players or new players, to this game throughout the life cycle of this game, ups and downs, I think it would be nice if they would.
I mean, I would happily go. But we don't need a petition. Stop that.
No, I'm not doing that.
No, let's chat too. I'm just like, no, but the idea is like it would always depend on what they were looking for. If they were like, hey, we want to try and solve the new player problem.
Right.
Happily, please come talk to me because I have some ideas and this is who I make my content for. But on the other side, if they're like, hey, we've got a specialized PvP mode for the elites, I'm like, yeah, we're not looking at Ibanez. He doesn't qualify at all. He's going to be the first guy out in the tournament.
We want to debut Armor 2.0.
Please talk to me.
Please talk to my mans. That's the guy. That aligns well with you.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So it's interesting that people are getting a play test. They're getting people to look at it, and we've seen multiple of those kind of sessions come through. So, do you think it comes out in 2025?
I mean, it feels like it now, only because of the fact, obviously, the rumors were that it were. We do know they had to set back with director and stuff like that, but they're play testing now. I'm gonna assume. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the question. No one wants to call their shot for the fall of 2025 until one major company calls their shot in 20. So nobody's going to say anything.
Yeah.
If GTA 6 goes, we're going to come out fall of 2025. It's going to be exactly. That's what I was exactly going to say, because I don't think it's going to be spring or summer, because you've already got Destiny doing some of that stuff, which they're going to keep going. But I don't feel like you're not going to pull another summer E3 launch for Marathon. That's going to be a holiday kind of thing. And then, as you said, GTA 6 is like fall 2025. You're like, I'm going somewhere else. Everybody is.
Facts. You ain't don't play around with that. Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
So oh man. So February 4th is actually smart for episode 3, I think, depending on how they drop it and stuff. But that one's going to dodge some of February. I know February is still packed. I know you've got a list like I do for February, which is just so yeah. Episode. I can at least mark it down because I was trying to watch my calendar for game release spreadsheet that I've got over here.
Yeah.
I'm really sad Game Informer shut down because I really liked their calendar. It was so well curated.
Good. Yes, very curated well.
Let's see. That will now be February 4th. Yeah, but Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Yep.
I know that's you.
Avowed
on the 18th. Assassin's Creed Shadows, I think, is going to get... Shadows. I think that's going to get eaten alive, sadly.
And then your Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter and Yakuza on the same day.
I forgot about Yakuza.
And there's probably something I'm missing because what got delayed? Oh, it's something Alters.
Oh yeah,
that got delayed to Q1.
January. Hopefully January.
Better be January if you're somebody. Yeah, that better be a January game because I was like, and then I think Eternal Strands is one that Travis got to preview, and I can can say I've got to preview that a little bit. There, I think they were looking at anybody who says early 2025 and hasn't narrowed it down yet, I'm like, you better do January or April. Yep. February is booked.
Stay out of February.
I am so tired of it being just like, let's see if we can shove everything into this month. And I know there's fiscal quarters and these other things and all, but I'm like, too many of you in February, some of you guys are going to lose and your fiscals are going to look a little bit better if you do April. Promise. Yeah. Long term, it's going to be better. So that's one of those.
I think we'll get a couple of people to blink. My prediction is we'll get somebody to blink out of February.
Of the list I said, who do you think? Oh, Civ 7, by the way.
Yeah, that's a big game, regardless.
I know. It's like not everybody, but it's a big game.
I'm hoping Avowed takes the queue.
I bet. I can see that.
I'm hoping they
I'm hoping Yakuza would be smart to move. Launching on the same day as Monster Hunter Wilds just doesn't feel smart.
It's not smart. That's not smart.
I don't think that's your best bet.
That's considered, even though it's a funny, cool, goofy idea, it's considered a sideline kind of Yakuza in the sense that it's not.
Oh, is it? It's not like.
Yeah, it's a favorite.
Well, Kiryu was the who was the okay? So I know he's Kiryu Judgment, right?
Kiryu was the main. No, that Judgment's a whole different canon.
Okay, I'm trying to think. Sorry,
in the same world. But Kiryu has been with the Yakuza franchise from the beginning, and then when Like a Dragon series came out, then Ichiban became the new protagonist, right? Infinite Wealth, they both fought together kind of thing. But now this is like a spin-off story with one of the extra characters. That's so
this is an extended universe, as Travis would say.
Yeah, okay. This is not a mainline character. It's just that he's very popular as, he's been in the universe for so long. So it's still a risk, and they're doing. So my thing is, you want that game to kind of shine. Doing it against the biggest game with Monster Hunter is not intelligent.
Yeah, I was like, that's going to be the biggest thing of Q1. I don't think there's a question. Like, if I'm wrong about that, feel free to call me on it. But I'm pretty sure that one's going to be
Monster Hunter 1, Assassin's Creed 2. Those, regardless to however controversies or not, it's an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah,
and it's going to be big. That's their Call of Duty, so to speak, for engagement. Ubisoft.
Yeah, March right now. Like Tales of the Shire, Suikoden remaster. Not much. Like, I think there's a lot of waiting around right now. This has been a hell of a year for games.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody was like, 2023, we're never going to have a... I'm like, man, 2024 can probably put a pretty good stack up next to 2023. I got to be honest. I have played a lot of good stuff this year.
I like 2024. I'm not going to say, look, 2023 was crazy, insane, no question. But people acting like 2024 is bad. I'm like,
hell no.
No, we're not doing that. Like, 2024 is good. It's solid. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. We still, like I said, Metaphor I'm playing, which is amazing. Wukong. You got so much stuff. Astrobot was amazing.
Astrobot was like, so many people were like, I love gaming again. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a whole different animal there.
Bro, Tekken was great. Like, this has been a good year.
We got some Concords. We got some Shattered Spaces there and there, too. I mean,
we got some bad stuff, too.
You want to know a funny one? Oh, Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming to PC on the 29th of October.
I heard it's Red Dead Redemption 1.
It's 1. Yeah, okay. Not 2. 1. And then Veilguard is going to be on the 31st. Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered release date curse again, also on the 31st of October.
They don't learn. They don't learn. Whoever's down with Horizon,
Whoever's
really,
their release date scheduler,
bruh,
fired.
like,
I'm sorry, you're fired. We do not
Zelda
need you anymore.
They did it to themselves?
Breath of the Wild, yep, was the other one.
God,
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what are y'all doing?
Just brutal, absolutely brutal. I mean, we had Final Shape this year. I saw that got nominated for Best Expansion. That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I played Cocoon this year. So did you, by the way.
Yeah.
No.
Good.
Oh no, it wasn't. That was last year. Damn it.
Last year.
I just need to go look through this year's releases because I would have to go back. Yeah, it's been a hell of a year for games. Black Myth Wukong though, that's my top 10 easy.
Sick.
Because like if you didn't see the true ending, and I almost have to show you that somehow.
Yeah, you got to show me because I'm never doing.
No,
that.
I know you'll never see.
You're gonna have to show me that. That is never going to be accomplished.
Like the fight that you go through, and then what happens after the fight, and that is 100% optional. And then you do the final fight, and you're like,
oh yeah,
the
Rebirth, Shadow of Erdtree,
yeah, Shadow, Rebirth, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, one of the best Metroidvanias I've ever played, without a doubt. Like it's top 5. They did so much. Still not did start Wukong. Wukong. If you're gonna do Wukong, anybody I will tell you, make sure before you get to like chapter 6 of 6 that you do go find all the optional bosses. Just look up a guide so you know where to find all the bosses and check all the boxes. You want to experience the true ending. So good.
Nice.
Yeah. Hellblade 2. There you go. That one kind of came in like a bit of a came and went. It's like it's really pretty, and that was mostly it.
And it was pretty short.
It was shorter than I think I expected to hear out of that one. Silent Hill 2 from Bloober Team, surprising everybody.
Yeah, people.
Nobody had nobody had hope for them.
Yeah.
Konami and Bloober Team, and you're going no, and then it gets like it's like an 86 on Metacritic right now.
Yeah, that was sick.
Metaphor, some people's like absolute favorite crushing right now.
Oh yeah, and I gotta shout out my little indie darling, well, I can't say it's not really indie, but my Path to the Goddess. It's not indie.
Yeah, I played that too. Absolutely did.
I enjoyed it.
So there's a game called Windblown. I think I talked to you guys about that week. That's going to be in the Steam Next Fest. Look for that one to play. Plucky Squire, by the way, still haven't played that.
Yeah, really good thing. My boy's playing from LongNet. Yeah, he loves it.
Frostpunk 2. I played and beat that campaign, and that thing has so much potential if you love that style of game. Space Marine 2.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that was underrated gem.
Yep.
Underrated, yes.
What else? Deadlock came out of Valve's nowhere and be like, we're sure, fine. Okay, we'll admit it, finally. You've got stuff like Once Human and First Ascendant, which people have just dumping hours into that.
Yep.
Like 2024 is Helldivers, by the way. That kicked off the year pretty well.
Helldivers was great. Yeah, Helldivers was fantastic.
So many things. A little bit of Let Him Cook. Played a little of that.
Technically not a full release yet.
No.
Surprisingly, even though it's under legal scrutiny right now, Power World was a sensation.
Oh, Power World is going to have nightmare with Nintendo's lawyers. But, yes, it was...
Power World was a sensation.
Nintendo's looking over that and be like, I think we got to do some work, guys.
Yep.
But we want to sue them so we can take our time.
Yep. Figuring out a way.
Switch 2. Are you there day one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm there for day. Switch 2 day one for sure. The rumors are today they're saying like $400 potential.
Yep. Sounds about right with all the world of pricing.
SKUs. Yeah.
See, Nintendo's making a $100 clock. I saw something about it. I didn't look into it because I heard it was a joke. So that Nintendo's about to release a game called Poke World.
Poke World.
Yep.
Hilarious.
Pokemon Universe World.
World.
Pokemon with guns. They turn around and then whoever makes Pal World sues them. They're like, whoa. You can't have monsters with guns now doing stuff with Pokeballs. That's our thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Well, Dungeon is tomorrow at launch. I might check it out and kind of see what it's like to dabble on contest a bit if I get somebody to play with me. But I think main goal is to probably work on the guide over the weekend whenever I can get it out. Yeah. So that's the main piece for me.
I'm actually jumping probably Saturday, Friday. I'll look at how the World First and all that stuff's going.
Yeah.
See, let the savages get everything done.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Then I'll jump in.
expecting. What would
I
you
would
go
icebreaker.
over under on 3 hours? That's
Hmm.
okay. Over under on 2 hours.
Over. I think
Over
it's
under
about
on 3 hours.
Yeah, about three. Three is about right.
Okay.
Yeah, dungeons, I feel like get knocked out.
I feel like
pretty
Salt and some of those
fast.
guys can do some of those dungeons and like,
Yeah.
oh, we're done in 45 minutes or something. I feel
Yeah,
like those
I feel
don't.
like yeah, I agree.
Contests may make it a little more of a grind because people are probably like first the mechanics, then a little bit more. But
Mhm.
overall, I'm gonna guess that about 3
'Cause I
hours.
wanna
That's
get in
why.
there. I like the aesthetic. I like the fact it's icebreaker, and I want that damn hoodie.
Yeah, no, would be.
I
I'm
want
good
that
with-
hoodie. That hoodie is, and I'm mad because shout out to my man Back for Dead, because he put me onto the Warlock hoodie that you used to remember, bro. I can't find that anywhere. So I lost that hoodie, bro. I'm like, I don't know what
Which
happened to
one?
it. Bro, the Warlock hoodie.
Oh, I've got my
Dungeon,
Titan
bro.
hoodie.
I don't know what I did. I tore my house up. Somebody stole my shit. Like I left it in the hotel. Like, bro, somebody had
You might have left
scheming eyes
it.
on
Nobody
that
stole
hoodie.
it.
So I need another good Destiny hoodie. And I'm like, oh, that's clean right there. And I'm just mad at Bungie for not like allowing that old Warlock one to come back up. It's crazy. But anyway, that's what
Yeah, sometimes contest kicking you to start if you wipe. That'd be funny. If
That'd
you
be
do a
crazy.
wipe, you got to start the whole thing over.
That's wild.
Old
That'd be
school
wild.
Nightfall contest
Yeah,
mentality.
that would be wild.
Woo! They said there's res tokens already, so I mean it's definitely going to be some checkpointing. I will be curious. Like I will be watching Salt and people like that will probably blast it. I'll watch Fallout. Let's kind of get a little more of like understanding of what's going on because he'll usually play at a more reasonable pace, and then I'll try and
Does
jump in.
Does that
He will.
do
There's no question he
dungeons? Okay.
won't. Yeah, I mean he does dungeons. I've seen him solo them too, but I know
Okay.
he will for sure. The big ones will all be there. I mean, Cross and everybody will be there. It's a thing.
Yeah.
So, yep. Well, thank you guys for hanging today. Nice little Thursday afternoon chat. We got a 49ers game to watch tonight, so nice to knock this out
We need
early.
This one. We
Yeah,
need this.
against the Seahawks, especially in conference,
in
we got to.
Seattle, yeah, first place on the line. We all the struggles we could win and be in first place.
That's kind of the thing. Yeah, I was.
But we lose, we'd be 0-4 in the conference.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that means
Hold
we've
on,
lost to
I gotta
every-
look now.
Bro,
Oh,
we've
that-
lost to every conference team. We lose. We lost to the Rams. We've lost to Arizona.
Oh,
And if we lose Seattle, we will be 0 in the conference.
we're
0
after.
in the
We're
conference.
after the conference already. We're pretty
Yeah,
screwed.
so we need this win bad.
Arizona's the only one. Arizona somehow is 2-2 in the conference. They're the only one who has a decent record in the conference. Seattle's 0-2 in the conference.
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
We are lucky our division is bad this year.
Yeah,
Otherwise, we'd
I
be in
remember
serious
because
trouble.
my wife is a Cowboys fan, and there were times like that whole division was worse than like the lowest team in other divisions, and I feel like we might be running one of those this year.
We're definitely there now.
We're not as bad as the Browns
Yes.
because our quarterback's decent, but man, I will say the surprise, like couple surprises. Minnesota didn't call that one.
Yeah.
Commanders,
Yes. Huge. That quarterback, Jaden. Yeah. Looks good.
Jaden Daniels, I think. And then I am sorry, I have like a soft spot. I want Josh Allen to win. Like if like the 49ers aren't in it, I'm going for the Bills because I feel like Josh Allen's just like a good dude working his butt off and like he's been screwed over by Kansas City multiple times and other things. I feel like he is due to
I
like
the way he plays.
Yeah, I feel like because he like he's a big dude, fights hard.
Yeah. He's an MVP type candidate player.
Yeah.
That whole team revolves around him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like his style of play.
So we'll be watching that dungeon tomorrow. I will be streaming when I get started. I don't know if I'll jump in. If I do have a team, I'll jump in, but I'll be watching too. And then once I actually start playing, you guys will see me on here. So it just might be a delayed stream start. And then when other people are done, come watch me struggle. So that'll be fun.
Yes, sir. Yeah, fun weekend dungeon. Then I watch my Mets on Sunday.
There you go.
LCS. I'm excited.
So ALCS, that leads into World Series, right? Championship. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
We be the winner. We face the winner of either Dodgers or Padres. The winner of that.
Who do you want to face?
I'm not even playing that game.
Oh, I didn't know. Like,
be here.
Oh no, I just didn't know if there's like if one's way better than the other per se, or if
historically, the Dodgers always tend to have tougher teams. But I heard this year that San Diego's. I've been so out of the loop.
I believe it. Yeah.
On Met and whoever their opponent.
My
is
team's
right
the
now.
Rangers, and they somehow won the World Series like a year or two ago. I think it was last year. Out of nowhere, I'm like, I'm sorry, you won I only start paying attention to baseball if like local team gets in.
Yeah, of
And
course,
then
of
after
course.
Houston won, but then they were having the cheating scandal. I'm like, well, y'all suck.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
so
So yeah,
not the
we'll see what happens.
best. Yeah.
Yeah, both teams are good. Both LA and San Diego. They're good. Like I just want to ride this wave, man. If we can pull this
Enjoy
off,
it, man.
keep it going.
It's been
Keep it
fun to
going.
see. Just got to make sure your blood pressure
Yes.
stays intact on this one.
And tell
No
your
more
brother Pete
ninth
Alonso.
innings.
Tell your brother Pete Alonso we thank him for
Okay, yeah,
all
I'll
his
make sure and
service.
reach out. I'll pass the word along.
The Alonso family.
At some point, you gotta. I was like, I don't know. I look at the picture and I don't really see it. Maybe side by side or something.
Side profile, yes.
This
I'm
one.
gonna send you one. I'll send you.
This.
Yes, 100%, 100% Pete, right there. Polar bear, right there. There we go.
Apparently, I'm
My
the polar
man.
bear for the weekend. So,
He's the polar bear.
all right. Well, thank you guys. Good episode, Cog. Of course, good to
Yes,
chat.
sir.
You got anything to look out for? Anything going on?
Just obviously ILP this Sunday. Like I said, if those in the New York area, New York Comic Con, we got some fun stuff planned, some interviews, some developers. I don't know if I could talk about the game and stuff that will be revealed yet, but we're
don't
going
do
to be
that.
covering. Yeah, we're going to be covering something that we're excited to cover, and then get a chance to see maybe some potential people there. You know, little MCU people, some movie star people.
There you
Interview.
go.
Hopefully we'll see. You know. A
Yeah.
lot of TV and stuff like that. So I don't really do Comic Con.
Quick,
so I'm
off
just
the
happy.
cuff.
Yes.
So the celebrity you'd like to have a dinner with?
Ooh, celebrity or like actor personally?
Actor,
Just
but
celebrity
that's
or
well,
general?
either. But go actor first.
Um, I came across Denzel, but I haven't got a chance to.
Oh, dude, that's
Yeah, that would be sick. He said,
Disney,
"Puff
get out of
Yo,
here!"
you
No,
stupid."
no,
No Diddy.
no.
Oh, yeah. Let me
So
see.
wrong.
As far as
Yeah, Denzel would be.
yeah,
Man,
he's
that would
amazing.
be that'd be
Yeah.
elite.
That'd be insane. Yeah, that'd be insane. I would
I
say
don't
that, and then in the comic sphere, I actually like to talk to the people, the directors and stuff. Like I would like to like Kevin Feige. What's my man that did Terminator and Avatar? James Cameron. I'm a huge like those guys. Yeah, Keanu would be cool.
Keanu would be just like the chillest dinner.
Yeah, super chill, chill. Those probably
He'd just
three
be like,
off
I had
top.
dinner with Keanu Reeves. How was it? It was fine. Like it was just chill. It was the most low key dinner you could ever ask for. Yeah.
Yeah, he said, "Bill Cosby, you share a drink and yo, you stupid." What about you? Who was your like celebrity or actor?
Ones that I've seen that would be fun. Tom Hanks would be one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you said Denzel. I can't not like.
Of course.
Man, it's just so much. Just like respect for. I can't remember. Also, one of the things I saw Denzel do when he was giving an award to Samuel L. Jackson. He's like, Samuel L. Jackson's been in like hundreds of movies, like so many things. He's like, what you don't hear about is where he donates all of his money to and just starts listing off charities. And Denzel did that for him. And I was just like, so much respect. But no, like Denzel's lead. But yeah, Tom Hanks, I think would be just fun. Because have you ever seen I've seen like things go around on Twitter where like somebody fell asleep in a bar and Tom Hanks takes a picture on his phone with him, but doesn't wake him up. So then he wakes up with a picture of him and Tom Hanks on the phone and he'd be like, Tom Hanks was here and I wasn't asleep.
That is hilarious. Well, he did it with the dude's phone?
Yeah, he literally put it on his, he left him a picture with like, I'm Tom Hanks and I'm here with you while you're sleeping in a bar.
Yo, that's wow funny.
That one was pretty good. I think Hugh Jackman would be a really cool one too. From what I've heard about him, he's just like a legit good dude from everybody who's worked with him. Those are a couple. Yeah, and Hugh Jackman's just been in like so much stuff between like musicals and just like talent from head to toe. I'm just like, it's not fair.
Oh yeah, super talented for sure.
But yeah, some of this just the good ones because there's you hear rumors about people being
about
kind of turds and stuff like that. But just some of the good ones. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Those are a couple if I got lucky or so. But yeah, I've honestly like I can't think of a celebrity I've even like seen. I've been in the wrong place in Dallas that I'm not on the coast or anything big or cool happens. I'm not near anything.
Spoiled because of New York. New York, it happens all the time. Like you bump into people, you see people. Yeah, that kind of stuff kind of happens. You cross paths.
Have not crossed basically anything. It's been pretty uncelebrity filled. So I would have to try and keep my own.
Fair enough, sir.
All right, random question to end it for fun. That's where we are. So 311 is the episode of today. Thank you guys for hanging. And for this episode's ending, it has been the last word.